Welcome back to Watts, the Obsession. Chris Watts' mistress had a lot to say about his girls. Could she have imagined what their life together might look like?
Just him. Sure. And so I was just like, embrace that. I think it's a beautiful thing. And I really try to take it smart with all that. And it was the same thing with his kids. I was just like, and we talk about things every once in a while where I'd be like, hey, if I ever meet, because I have a lot of houseplants. It's a good example. So I have a lot of houseplants, and I told him, I was like, one day if I ever meet your kids, I was like, I'm gonna show these girls how to paint pottery and plants. I was like, I think they would love to see something grow that they built. I think it would be really, really cute.
I need thrive. That kid right there. 7:15 in the morning. CC.
She even takes my boots. Look, my boots are out here. So she takes them out of my closet, tries to wear them. Yep. So we'll get you going. There's Cece. Do you do this, Maddie? Hi, Cece. Do you like your new hat? Okay, we gotta get dressed. No?
I like it backwards.
Hi, kid.
Watch out, Dieter. All right, you guys see what I... Watch out, Cece. Cece, watch. Cece, wait, honey. Cece, wait. It's Bella's turn. Cece don't like sharing.
Don't just preach it. You have
Thanks,
to show
Shannon.
It.
We got to catch up.
I want to be that person that shows my kids. We'll get a new spot. Dieter's on that spot. Say hi to everybody. Where's your Cedar? Don't be. You sit right there. Okay, Cece. Shh. Okay. Dieter, sit down. Okay, see, Dieter's down still longer.
Little stuff like that, but it wasn't very frequent. It wasn't, hey, we should get married, and hey, we should have babies, and hey, I want to live with you, and hey, I need to meet your children now, and let's cut the mom out. It was never like that.
There was never any conversation about, we can't do this with her around, we can't do this with the kids around. He never said that, you never said that.
No.
So the way you guys are trying to make this work was just, slowly trying to come together because of his current situation. And by your own account,
Mine. I mean,
you're just a independent person, it sounds like, pretty much.
Yeah.
Everybody, you can count 15 for me? Yeah. Okay. You are? Okay. We'll count, okay? Ready? Set. Go.
You want yucky?
Yeah.
Did you meet his children?
Nope. I
During
didn't want
June and
to.
July.
And he didn't ask me to.
Okay.
I mean, not that I didn't want to ever. It was just not now. It's like you're not finalized with your separation. And not only that, we've barely been dating. you can't introduce kids to somebody new in a situation like that. That's something that takes time. I mean, would I have liked to have met them? Of course. They, I mean, that would have been a great honor for me to have somebody introduce their children into my life, but not then. It was something that it was like, okay, well, let's see where we're at in 6 months. Let's see where we're at in a year. And if we're still doing this and you and me are still, happy with where we're at, and you think that this is something that is going to be long-term and is worth bringing your children into the picture, then yes, I would love to meet them. But it's like, not right now. You are still in this situation where you're not even completely out of it, and I'm getting in it, and that's not fair for them.
Peter.
Birthday to you.
Do. Hey, April. All right. Did you give it to Dieter?
Oh, all right.
Well, kid, you went through my legs. All right, Bella, say goodbye to everybody. There's the monster.
So,
Hi, guys.
We do have our Thrive Cafe.
It came in finally. Say hi, Bella.
Hi. Hi.
Hi. Okay, so they wanted to join us in on the live. Say hi, Cece. So, Chris, we decided to go hot because it's been chilly here today, and I only like my coffee. If I was going to do coffee, if I had to drink it, it's going to be warm. So I like warm. Yes. More.
I'll get you
She wants more marshmallows.
one.
So I was not a big coffee. Didn't like the taste of it so much. So I'm really interested to see.
I want some more
My mug. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Fire, some cookies.
A lot of snow.
Hey Doug. Hey Aaron. You're gonna fall, baby.
You got
This
more.
is really, really, really good. I'm really excited. I can show you guys. It dissolved. No, you can't drink it.
Everybody.
Bye.
Cece's eating all the food in our kitchen.
It's true. See? See? There she is. No?
Hi.
You want to say hi?
Say hi. Play in the snow.
No?
That's Cece.
Kind of thing.
Did you ever give them like books or articles or anything to read about saving your marriage? Did you ever provide anything to him like that?
About saving his marriage?
Yeah, like how to recover a marriage or how to save your marriage. Or, there's all sorts of publications and books out there.
No, but I did tell him, and I don't know if I did this through text or phone. That will be something you guys will, I'm sure, figure out. But I told him a few times, like, I think that you should take the time to read some articles about what separation does to kids. And I told him, I said, when my parents separated, we were literally like 3 and 5. We were almost the exact same age as these little girls. And I told him, I said, I was so young when it happened that it didn't really have like a big negative effect on me because I was so small that I didn't really process it too well. I was like, but I do have cousins that their parents got divorced when they were like 10, 11. And I think that it hit them a little harder, and he's like, oh, they'll be fine. And I told him, I was like, even though they're small, and you think that they'll be fine, I was like, I think you guys should just read about it just so that you guys are prepared in case, one of these two starts having a hard time with the fact that you guys aren't in the same house anymore, and I would tell him, I was like, there's pros and cons to it. Like, cause he was like getting ready to do it. And it would be like, it's kind of cool having 2 Christmases and, like your parents get to go, be happy doing whatever it is they want to do with their lives. And they don't have to be in a situation that's probably not good for the kids because it's not good for those two, but at the same time, it was like, just read. Like, that's what I always used to tell him. I'd always tell him to like, I tell people to read about everything. Reading is so good for you.
I found the melt away butter cookies. Mommy's looking at my book right now. Okay. So right now I've already ordered what I need for the day, and I'm going to go to King Soopers, pick it up, and go through the drive-through to get medication, and we're good. What, honey? Okay, not right now. Come stand right next to me. You want to say hi? You can read with me, but I'm looking for a recipe. Okay. Say hi to everybody. Say hi. Hold on, Mom needs this recipe right here. We need to get this. So I know. Do you want to help me with something else? All right, you guys. Since she's back. Brandy, if you make chocolate chip cookies before you put them on a pan to bake. Okay, honey, hold on. Stick them in the refrigerator for a couple hours so they get chilled. So it will help. They'll make them, fluffier. They're not so flat when you come out of the oven. So it looks like we're gonna have some needy kids today. I'm not gonna get any baking done. I got so much to do. Hi, Charlie. Hey, Kim. Merry Christmas. Hey, Christina. So I'm gonna try to get some cookies made. Say hi, Christina. So I'm glad I'm joyful. Okay, leave mommy's book alone unless you're gonna help me cook. Okay. We say goodbye to everybody. Yeah. You had a shower, steam shower. Yeah. You look all. And you went potty.
Yeah, during the steam shower.
Good job. So we're gonna go and I'm gonna find something for these kiddos to do, and I can cook. I waited to do it with them, and Bruce with ice cream. I'm gonna have to try it. Vanilla or chocolate, Charlie. So yeah, we have to do a treatment, baby. Call it Incredible Hulk. What flavor ice cream? Oh, yes. You're falling down. I'm not going to let you fall down. Okay? Come here. Look. Everyone's here to say hi to you. Vanilla? We're going to have to try that, Charlie. Charlie has a really good recipe for you. You want to try it? We can make it like a milkshake. Yeah. That's awesome. We're fighting respiratory, upper respiratory. You want down? They both have asthma. So our sicknesses are considered breathing issues. They both were at the hospital last night for breathing issues. That's our problem. So otherwise, it's relatively good. Knock on wood, we've been good for everything else. But when it comes to breathing, that's our issue right now. If there was something to help that, that'd be great. We use oils for the girls too. Yeah, Cece has what?
We just signed her.
Yeah. Cece has viral pneumonia, so it's 'tis the season. So all right, guys, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna finish cooking by myself because that's what I'm gonna do. But this guy right here, he's gonna do all the dishes.
That's me.
So I waited till Saturday so he's home to do the dishes. They're stacking up over there, so he's better get on it.
Getting
Can you guys hear me now? Oh, this is awful. Awful. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me see. Let's see. Silence now. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to have to get Nancy on the phone or something. Oh, good. Awesome. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry about that, guys. I hate when that happens. Oh, and I cannot edit it out of the replay either. Okay, guys. I am so sorry about that. Okay, so what I said, and I think I've said it twice now, thank you guys for being patient. Thank you for still being here, is that I said hello to everybody personally. I don't want to go back through and, oh, thank you guys, and do it again for people that are watching the replay. So I'm sorry for the people that also left. And, okay, you don't, let me call Nancy. Let's see. Can you hear me now? So you hear me now on the live stream? Okay. Oh, okay. Very good. Okay, darling. Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye. Okay. So Nancy says yes, that she hears me. Okay. So, all right. Okay. So hello, everybody. One left because she was drunk. You're so funny, Edward. I'm going to pin that. Okay. So what I was saying is Nichol Kessinger, Chris Watts' former mistress, and then the former mistress's relationship to the children, meaning to children in general. Did she want to have children? Did she not want to have children? We got some conflicting information according to what her friend said, what Chris Watts said, what she reported herself. And then how does she feel about Chris Watts' children? And again, it's an issue that's in debate regarding whether she had even met them or not, right? Did she meet the children? Did she not meet the children? Some people think she did. Some people think she didn't. Some people think that when the video interview was released of the August 16th interview, and Nichol Kessinger motions with her hands and says they were this big, and she indicates, a height the children might be, that means, that she must have met them. She knew how tall they were. I'm not even sold on that. I don't know if I think she met them or not. I'd like to know what you guys think. So, a Curious Rose, by the way, would you like to come up now or do you want to wait a little bit? You just let me know. And DTC Primetime says it struck me for sure. Okay. Let's see. They were so little. Yes, all of that. Oh my goodness. So DTC Primetime, I'm putting the link in chat. So whenever you do want to come up, you're welcome to come up. Okay. So let's see. Let's get going to. Oh, hey, you know what? In that little, it was actually a video that I played in the beginning of this live stream. I noticed something new that Chris Watts said. It doesn't really have to do with committing a crime or anything, but Cece goes, I did it. I think, or I went potty or something. And Shanann's like, you went potty? And she's like, yep. And Chris says under his breath, in the steam shower. So I guess that didn't go as well as Cece would have liked everyone to believe. I thought that was just kind of cute. So here we go. All right. So let's just listen to a couple things that Nichol Kessinger had to say about Chris Watts' children that wasn't in that video in the beginning of the live stream, just to give us a context and a foundation for discussion. So I'm going to bring this into the live stream. And again, welcome if you just came in. Thank you guys for being here. If you were left and came back, I'm sorry about the no sound earlier. I really don't even know what happened, but I'm very glad you're all here. Okay. And let's see. Oh, we've got headphones.
So your conversation about him having kids, how did that go?
Oh, hold it. Let's see. Just give me one sec here. I'm not, oh, by the way, I'm not talking. There should be no sound right now. Oh, let's see here. Charge this. Oh my God, this is killing me. Okay, I'm just going to start playing this. If there's a little bit of an echo, I'm going to go grab something that'll fix it. Hopefully there's not, though, but we're just going to have to find out. So. All right. Okay.
I mean, I don't know, I just told
You
her.
gotta be kidding me.
Is it still, did you delete that or is it still?
No, I don't know. I have no reason to delete anything else on my phone. The only reason I
Oh my God, this is, oh, okay, I see why. All right. Okay.
deleted all this stuff with Chris is because he was making me feel really uncomfortable and I didn't want to see it in my phone anymore. Yeah, let me scroll all the way back here. We're gonna scroll talk a lot. No, she's like.
So let's just, while we're here, because we talked about this before, but we didn't talk about the specific context of what that message said regarding the children. So obviously, in the situation that we're looking at now with the death of 2 children and all the other circumstantial stuff going around in the case, I just want to make sure there was no comments ever made by you regarding, you know, children or dislike of children or love of children, either way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess. Let me find it. I think this is going to start. You guys can just take whatever you want out of there.
So it's easier for me to just take everything than it is to single it out. Plus, for the purposes of this case, the less exposure, you know, we already have, initially you drew concern from me when you told me you deleted everything from Chris. I've already told you that. You understand why. There's no question as to why that might cause concern. So if there's anything else that ever comes up, I have it, and then we can just discuss it. Do you understand what I mean? All right.
It's right here. This is where it starts. She starts right there. She starts talking about her and her fiance. So that was like weeks ago. And she hasn't.
Okay, so you know, you heard there just in that little excerpt, you know, Kevin Kovac asks her, specifically about Chris Watts' children and what was said about the children. Now, something that I find interesting about him questioning her here is that, guys, this is the 5th interview between these two right here, right? Now, the topic at hand is the murder of Chris Watts' wife, Shanann, and his 2 daughters, Bella and Celeste, his children. So it strikes me that on their 5th interview, and we know through the course of those interviews, they talked for hours and hours and hours. The first one in the park was a couple hours long. The second interview, the one that took place in the police station, the one for which we have the other interview that has video, was just under 4 hours long. And then there's the phone interview, which is almost an hour. And well, there's 2 phone interviews. So we have almost 10 hours of interview time up until this point. Yet he still finds it necessary to question her about her attitude towards the children and what she said to Chris about the children and what she thinks about the children. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 different times in this interview. So you know what? I'm actually gonna, I have Zena on again this evening. She's been sitting backstage. I was gonna have a Curious Rose coming up first, but I don't know if she maybe, I don't know what happened with that sound thing or whatever. So Curious Rose, whenever you would like to come on up. Hi, Chrissy, how are you doing? Come on up, but I'm gonna have Zena come up here too so we can chat. Hey, Zena, how are you doing? Welcome.
Hi, Kelly. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. I'm so sorry about that with the sound and everything. I truly don't know what happened. I have to do meetings and all kinds of things or do presentations. I don't know, for work all the time with a very similar technology to what we're doing right here. And I swear to you, it's only when I'm talking about Chris Watts do things just go haywire. And that is the God's honest truth. It's stunning to me.
It's cursed.
I feel like it is. Yeah. And I feel like it is.
It's so much darkness. It's so much evil.
It is so much darkness and so much evil. You know, and speaking of that, did you ever did you watch, I can't remember, I'm so sorry if we talked about this, but did you ever watch the Mexi video?
I was very curious to watch it with everyone talking about it, and it didn't strike me as too interesting. I thought that it would be. I didn't. I hadn't watched the entire thing yet. I'm not through the whole 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Sure.
But yeah, I think I saw something early of his sitting down with neighbor Nate's mother at their dining room table.
Yeah. That was one of the, that was when, guys, we're talking about Mexi. I link up a chat in a moment, unless somebody else can grab it. We're talking about Mexi, who's a paranormal investigator, and he had not done anything discussing the Watts case in quite a while. And it was actually that interview with neighbor Nate, the dude who provided all of that security camera footage of Chris Watts' driveway. Mexi did an interview sitting down with neighbor Nate's mother at their home that's right next to the Watts residence. And he was actually planning on doing more about the Watts case at that point. But I don't remember, and again, I don't want to speak for him, but it was at that point when he sat down with Nate's mother and considered some things. He just kind of stopped covering the Watts case altogether. So when you guys all told me in chat the other day that there was, that he put out another Watts video, I was pretty surprised and happy. So
did you watch it, Kelly?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. And I thought that it was very interesting because I have been watching Mexi's paranormal investigations for a couple of years now. And I personally have a lot of trust and faith in him. I think that, I don't always believe in the people that present paranormal material, but I do believe in him and what he does and his method behind it. And just that he's a truthful person and that it has good intentions. And so, yeah, so it came across, I thought it was good. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. I guess I just don't understand the spirit box concept.
Okay, yeah.
You know, sort of the technology meets the spirit world, but
Right.
I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't possibly like do it justice, but
yeah.
I mean, I think it's, I definitely do believe that, I was talking about this with one of my students just the other day, because he started like communing with the trees and feeling that he could see people's auras and whatnot. And he said to me, the particle accelerator? And I'm like, well, I don't know the particle accelerator because I'm not a genius physicist, but yeah, I've heard of it. Has never box stuff has never. Oh, okay. But everything, everything has like an inherent vibration to it, right? There's actually a couple physicists and who take like a kinesiology approach to it.
Yeah,
kinesiology. Yeah, and what'd you say?
Me? I think
yeah.
It's kinesiology.
Yeah. I was going to conjugate that that word differently though, but then I decided to just go with kinesiology. And they actually show that humans react to the inherent energy and vibration of things in a certain way. Well, actually, they show that everything does have an inherent energy and inherent vibration to it. And even when double-blind studies are conducted, in this one study, the book is Power versus Force. And I think it's David Hawkins is the author. Let's see, Power versus Force. I highly recommend this book. Power versus Force. Yeah, Power versus Force by David R. Hawkins. And he has this method of testing people's strength. And he explains it all in kinesiology terms, how it's done and why it's scientifically valid. And nearly just shy of 100% of the time, if something is bad for you or it's negative, and we're talking objects, we're talking food, we're talking substances, we're talking music, we're talking books, we're talking other people, like he gets into, a range of things. Anyway, if something is good for you, a person's strength will increase. If it's something that's bad for you, the strength will decrease. And I know that this sounds very basic, but the accuracy and validity and replicability of the studies that he does, to me and to a lot of people, really proves that there's an inherent energy and inherent vibration to everything. And I think it's absolutely like extraordinarily interesting material. So anyway, that's to say with the spirit box, and yeah, I don't know how the spirit box works, so I probably shouldn't even speak to it because I probably won't do it justice. So,
well, I definitely agree with everything you just said about vibrational forces, and there's a movie that I really like to recommend. Have you heard of What the Bleep Do We Know?
Yeah, that's a great movie. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, interesting stuff.
Yeah, that is. And then Diana says, there are a lot of studies in psychology where they show communication between trees underground and how they favor their offspring and give nutrients first before they give it to their neighboring trees. I am aware of those too, Diana. And Diana, I was saying to you when the volume was off, how did you make that Om symbol after your name? I've been teaching yoga since I was for over 20 years. And when I was in my 20s, I had the honor and privilege of studying with people all over the world. And it's just what I did full time. I had a yoga studio. I studied yoga. I did yoga. It was an amazing life. When I had my son, I sold my yoga studio in Philadelphia. And I wouldn't, change that for the world because I love my son with all of my heart. But that lifestyle was pretty awesome. So I had some teachers that referenced those studies with the trees communing among themselves and how they actually feel one another's pain. It's also really interesting stuff too. So I just wanted to highlight that there. And let's see. Let's see. Oh, Holly, yes. Thank you so much for the super sticker. You're such a sweetheart. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You're awesome, Holly. Thank you. And I don't know if a Curious Rose is still there and if you want to come up or what is going on. Oh, let's see. And then Diana just said, Kelly, I would love to hear more about that. I go to Google and type in a symbol. Oh, okay, cool. Easy breezy. It wasn't that tricky anyway. So, okay, so let's go to another couple places. Well, you know what? Let's actually go to Nichol Kessinger's other interview. We're going to come back to this one. I know that we're jumping around a little bit, but that's okay because it is all coming to a point. You know, actually. And everyone can hear me okay, right? You can hear me okay?
Yep, I
Sina?
can.
Okay, good. Oh my gosh, it's always such a bummer when that happens. Okay, so just back to this video that I played in the beginning a little bit here. I think it's interesting to see, where are we here? Okay, there we go with the wedding dresses. Oh my gosh, her and her freaking wedding dresses. Okay.
The wedding dress that you just showed, was that Shanann?
No. I wouldn't have put Shanann's picture when she's talking. Nope.
So longer.
Like little stuff like that, but it wasn't very frequent. It wasn't, hey, we should get married, and hey, we should have babies, and hey, I want to live with you, and hey, I need to meet your children now, and let's cut the mom out. It was never like that.
There was never any conversation about, we can't do this with her around, we can't do this with the kids around. He never said that, you never said that.
No.
So the way you guys were trying to make this work was just, slowly trying to come together because of his current situation. And by your own account,
Mine. I mean,
you're just an independent person, it sounds like, pretty much.
Okay, so when I am listening to that portion of the interview and then thinking about all of those things that I just showed in that video, she's saying, oh, it wasn't anything serious. It wasn't like we were going to be together for life. I was just like kind of testing out the waters. Like things with Chris Watts could have gone either way for me kind of thing. And then we look at her search history and we look at her searches for the wedding dresses. We look at the fact that she's talking about marrying, or she's Googling about marrying your mistress. Will somebody leave their wife for their mistress? And then she's speaking to Kevin Kovac, the interviewer, and she's being just so blasé about children. And, oh, yeah, it's not like, we were going to have kids or anything. But yet she's telling Chris Watts that she wants to give him his first son. It just really reminds me of how we do have these hours upon hours of interview material from Nichol Kessinger. But for me, the value in it is not necessarily what she says per se, because we find that what she says contains so little truth, right? But the value in it for me is sort of to look at it and look at what she says compared to what we know the reality is based on other evidence. Look at that discrepancy and then look at the reasons, why she's presenting herself to be a certain way, why she's telling the lies that she is telling, and what that means, Give me just 1 second. I have to mute this for 1 minute.
Does that mean I'm muted?
Okay, no, I was muted. Well, no, you weren't. Okay. So my son had his music or something so loud, it was like distracting me back there. So I had to yell to him. So let's see. Yeah, so DTC Primetime says, let's cut the mom out. Interesting word choice, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good point.
That is a very interesting word choice. And, well, here. Let's listen to that again.
Yeah, I've always thought that word choice was very telling.
Yeah, I mean, it's like who speaks like that? I mean, my God, like no, that's totally right about that, DTC.
Yep.
Let's listen to that again, and then I also want to listen to the little excerpt that we already listened to from that other interview, and how Kevin Kobach asks her about the children. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm trying to get right in the spot, but we're just gonna have to deal like that. Bring it into the stream.
She is just such an arrogant little pompous nimwit. I don't know how he could sit with her and not just get really frustrated and take her to task.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. And I think in this interview right here, the one that is the final interview, or not this interview right here, but the one that I played a little bit of, we'll listen to it again, that final interview where she hands in her phone, I think you really start to hear his frustration come out. And perhaps that's why it was their last interview. It was after that interview on August 23rd that she was handed over to Dave Baumhover, and Kevin Kobach was cut out of the picture.
Right.
And, you know, but yeah, you're right. Why didn't he take her to task? Oops, let's see. Which one did I put up? Okay, this one.
Is, you know, slowly trying to come together because of his current situation. And by your own account, your own.
Mine. I mean,
You're just a independent person, it sounds like, pretty much.
Now, something I noticed there is how she says, mine, I don't want to rush. It's like when she doesn't feel like she's in control of the interview, when she doesn't feel like she's getting the credit that she's set out to seek, she gets very upset. This happens a couple times during the interviews. Let me just play that little voice inflection from her again.
You're just a independent person, it sounds like.
Oops.
Current situation. And by your own account, your own.
Mine. I mean,
You're just a
You know, mine. It's mine. Don't give him credit. It's mine.
independent person, it sounds like, pretty much.
You know, can I say, I don't remember my Google password, but her saying that she doesn't remember her Google password, you know she's lying. He knows she's lying.
Right.
It's insane. I mean, I don't use that much technology, and I get frustrated that whatever that Google password is, I wrote it down somewhere and I can't remember where I wrote it down.
Yeah.
And it's a real source of frustration. So I'm actually in that boat that she's trying to pretend that she's in. And, you know, she's not real frustrated with it. She's just like, oh, well, yeah, I can't remember it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so she's trying to have us believe that she does not remember her Google password, her Gmail password, Gmail, Google, same thing.
Right.
But I mean, one of the things that we know for certain about her is that she was a proficient and prolific Googler. You know,
Right.
like she spent so much time on her computer. She spent so much time on Google. She has a Gmail account. It's in the discovery. You know, there's no way in hell she forgot that password. And, you know, I think a few people have said, even if she did, you just click that retrieve password button, you know, forgot my password button, and you're good to go.
Well, I'm literally in that boat. Like, I don't know my Google password. It's been a few months. It's extremely frustrating. She's so blasé about it. Like, she doesn't care. She's like, oh, well, I don't know it, whatever. And it's like, you know, when I am wanting to utilize it, I mean, I'm just like at my wit's end. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because I should be able to retrieve it, but I can't. Not yet anyway. I mean,
well,
these days.
You should be able to, girl, because it ain't that hard. So I'm sure NK was able to. Yeah. So DTC Primetime says, Kelly, I was talking in another chat about something, and your video about it immediately came up as a suggestion. YouTube and Google are so smart. And then Diana says, I feel like our devices hear us talking, then advertise us on certain words they pick up. I just got to tell you a little short story. I had a like skunk that was always around my house. It was digging underneath my porch. It actually somehow, I believe, got into my basement. I don't know. There's a whole story about this skunk. It was a nuisance anyhow. So I was talking to another teacher. It was in my resource room class about, what do I do about this skunk? And he said, oh, there's something that you can use that will really, repel the skunks, like whatever the case may be. And maybe a student of mine, there's only like 2 guys in there, like chimed in. My phone was like not in the room. My computer was shut, like laptop, top down, off, everything. Swear to God, no other mobile device or devices on me. I'm sorry. I was in his classroom and my phone was in my room. I have to remember that detail. I turn on my computer. The first thing I do when I log on, before even my typical home screen, there's an advertisement for this like skunk repellent solution. It was the craziest thing. I literally screamed because it scared me, because I knew my phone wasn't there. I knew my computer was off. And I was like, how did this computer know to do that? It was really quite crazy.
It's creepy. And yeah, they're always listening. Yeah.
Yeah, always. I mean, that's just like, wow. I don't know.
Yeah.
Man, that isn't here. Did Karina? It is said a mod that isn't here. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so now a curious Rose. Do you want to come up? By the way, if you do, I'm going to again put the link in chat there. I don't know how much of this you've been on for. I guess my sound wasn't on and I didn't know it for a while, so I'm very sorry about that. Sorry, darling. Let's see. So Double R saying, Kelly, I request a live feed from your end too. I mean, it is your channel, right? Yeah. What are you saying? I'm not sure what you're asking there. Hi, Aaron on the side of caution. How are you doing? Yeah, Edward Snowden is an excellent source on all that. Okay. So let's go back to the interview from August 23rd. Okay. And then what I get really focused on in this first time that Kevin Kovac asked Nichol Kessinger about the children, Chris Watts' children, and what was said to Chris about his children, just listen to the way he words the question. It troubles me every time. I'd love to know what you guys think.
Of what that message said regarding the children.
Let me go back just a little bit. Okay.
Like a guy who had kids.
Okay. And
she has not even like played.
All right. So your conversation about him having kids, how did that go?
So that's where, hold it. So that is where, Zena, this is one area where it is in this interview, you really start to see his frustration. For the first time, as far as I can perceive at least, she starts to say something and he keeps cutting her off and he sounds irritated. He's like, she's talking, she's going on and on about Charlotte, trying to distract him and get him off the topic. And, he's like, really like, okay. Well, what about the children? So here.
Kids with you and Charlotte, like I can't remember the exact context, but you guys were talking.
Hanging out with a guy who had kids.
Okay. And
she has not even like played.
All right. So your conversation about him having kids, how did that go?
See, doesn't that really point out to you how she is not answering his questions? And I don't know if this is news to him or what, but she hasn't been answering his questions for the last 10 hours worth of interviewing,
Right.
He really, he has to so intentionally direct her, and we don't see it as being forceful. And I don't know if he was using some method or technique that I just don't get, but like you were saying, Zena, I feel he should have been much more forceful with her in this interview. My God, it's the death of a young pregnant woman and 2 little girls.
Oh, it's ridiculous. And yeah, it's sort of like, I mean, in a trial when a lawyer treats a witness as a hostile witness during testimony. Um,
Right.
I mean, she's so hostile. She's so evasive and arrogant, and she's constantly saying, I can't remember, I don't remember anything. But then she's going into great detail about things that she wants to go into great detail about. But I mean, but
Yeah.
that's the main thing. It's like she just wants to keep going down these other roads, these other topics, when you've got this paramount topic at hand, that not only are these people deceased, I mean, she's not grief stricken, she's not scared, she's
No.
not asking how, she's not asking what the hell happened here.
Right.
I mean, most people would be just gasping for air and wanting information, and at the same time not wanting to hear it. But
Yeah.
she's so confident. She's so confident.
And she's so in control of the whole interview.
Ugh.
Here, let me invite a Curious Rose up, and then I want to just continue on this little excerpt here, because there's so much in such a small period of time at times, and this is one of these areas. I want to listen to how he phrases a question that he asks her. But let me say welcome to Curious Rose. Hi, darling. How are you doing, A Curious Rose? Welcome.
Oh, thank you. Hi, ladies. Hi, chat. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're so welcome. I don't know if you were on here earlier when I was having some issues with sound. I didn't realize it, so I'm really sorry about that.
Oh my God, no problem. I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Hi, Curious Rose. Nice to meet you.
Same here, Zena. Very nice to be on panel with you. You're lovely.
Oh, you're so kind. So I'm just noticing as we're sitting here with this, her body language. Oh my God. It's never really spoken to me the way it is right now. The way she's leaning back as far as she can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God.
Her body language in this interview, I think when her dad is not there, and I think that she's less aware of the fact that she's on camera here, because, in that other video, they're there doing that interview again for the purpose of having it on video. She's very aware of it.
Right.
So I think this language here, her body language becomes very telling.
Right. That other one, she looks right at the camera several times, like
several times.
Locks eyes with it.
Creepy. Okay, here, let me continue this here.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, I just told her,
Is it still, did you delete that or is it still on
No, I don't, I have no reason to delete anything else on my phone. And the reason I deleted all this stuff with Chris is because he was making me feel really uncomfortable and I didn't want to see it.
Although, guys, that is not true because, and we can read over this again in the discovery, I read it when A Curious Rose and I were going over the interview with her so-called best friend, Charlotte Nelson. The text messages between Nichol Kessinger and Charlotte Nelson that were retrieved from Charlotte's phone did not appear in Nichol Kessinger's phone. But wait, listen to what she just said to Kobach.
I asked about between you and Charlotte.
It's the same girl.
That same girl was freaking out.
Yeah.
So was there ever a conversation about kids with you and Charlotte? Like I can't remember the exact context, but you guys were talking.
Hanging out with a guy who had kids.
Okay. And
she has not even
played. All right. So your conversation about how did that go?
I mean, I don't know, I just told her
Is it still, did you delete that or is it still on there?
No, I have no reason
I don't even know what his question is. And she goes, no. Oh, I'm sorry.
to delete anything else on my phone. And the reason I deleted
I have no reason to delete anything else on my phone.
all this stuff with Chris is because he was making me feel really uncomfortable. And
The only reason I deleted all that stuff with Chris is because he was feeling really uncomfortable. I mean, do you guys interpret that as her saying, no, I didn't delete anything between myself and Charlotte because that's what he's asking about? Well, she did.
Right. What she says and what she does are two different things completely.
Always.
Yep.
Oh,
Yes.
man. All right, let's get to that question I can't get to that I want to hear him ask. All right.
I didn't want to see it in my phone anymore. Yeah, let me scroll all the way back here, man. Scroll top. No, she's like.
So that's just, well, we're here because we talked about this before, but we didn't talk about the specific context of what that message said regarding the children. So obviously, in the situation that we're looking at now with the death of 2 children and all the other circumstantial stuff going around in the case, I just want to make sure there was no comments ever made by you regarding, children or dislike of children or love of children, either way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess. I think that's where this starts.
I mean, this is just shocking to me. So he goes on and asks her this very detailed question, or for this very specific information, and she responds by not even looking up and just being like, yeah. Listen to this.
Anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, let me scroll all the way back here, man. The scroll talk a lot. No, she's like.
So that's just, well, we're here because we talked about this before, but we didn't talk about the specific context of what that message said regarding the children. So obviously, in the situation that we're looking at now with the death of 2 children and all the other circumstantial stuff going around in the case, I just want to make sure there was no comments ever made by you regarding, children or dislike. Okay, so that is what I wanted to hit on. The way he words the question, I just want to make sure that there were no comments ever made about your dislike for the children or him not wanting to have the children. I mean, what kind of an investigative question is that? I just want to make sure that this never happened, like wink, wink.
Right.
I mean, what do you guys think about that?
It's annoying. Just speak your mind. What are you getting at with her? Let it out at this point. You're dancing around it ridiculously. And she's still not giving you the answer you want anyway. Just have at it.
Or is it that? I mean, and it could be that. And sometimes I feel like that. I feel like that in my gut. I get frustrated with him. But then sometimes I wonder, is he intentionally leading her to say the right things? What do you think, Zena?
Yeah, I think you just nailed it. Basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is dirty.
I know. Well, let's listen to it again. I mean, this is one of the areas, one of the questions he poses where I just really feel like, Rose, it could totally be like what you said, like viscerally, that's what I feel. I feel that frustration.
Right.
But then I also think he is supposed to be a highly skilled, well-trained, experienced investigator. Like, what kind of crap is this?
I know. I agree.
Yeah.
But the guy who had kids.
Okay.
She has not even
Wait. All right. So your conversation about him having kids, how did that go?
I don't know. I just told her.
Did you delete that, or is it still on?
I have no reason to delete anything else on my phone. The reason I deleted all this stuff with Chris is because he was making me feel really uncomfortable, and I didn't want to see it in my phone anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, let me scroll all the way back here, man. The scroll talk a lot. No, she's like.
So that's just, well, we're here because we talked about this before, but we didn't talk about the specific context of what that message said regarding the children. So obviously, in the situation that we're looking at now with the death of 2 children and all the other circumstantial stuff going around in the case, I just want to make sure there was no comments ever made by you regarding, children or dislike of children or love of children, either way. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
Well, and just the way she's looking down, not looking at him, is so disrespectful.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Yeah.
He's so specific.
So
it makes me crazy.
Yeah.
For me to just take everything that it is to single it out. Plus, for the purposes of this case, the less expose.
God, I hate that. How she's like, I know. Or before she's like, no. She's so dismissive of him. Like, my God, it's not even like he has like any authority. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
I just want to make sure there was no comments ever made by you regarding, children or dislike of children or love of children, either way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess. Let me find it. I think this is where this starts.
It's almost like he's just having to check that off his list.
Right. Exactly.
So
Yeah,
it's easier
we covered that.
for me to just take everything than it is to single it out. Plus,
I know.
for the purposes of this case, the less exposure, we already have, initially you drew concern from me when you told me you deleted everything from Chris.
Yeah, what Hokey Winter
I've
said
already
is
told you that.
spot on.
You understand why? There's no question as to why that might cause concern. So if there's anything else that ever comes up, I have it, and then we can just discuss it. Do you understand what I mean? All right.
I don't know. To me, I feel like he's saying to her, like, tongue in cheek, I don't know. Like, this is like, we've kind of got your back by doing it this way too. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. What do you think, Rose?
What did you say the last part of that, Kelly? You feel that what?
I sort of think he's almost saying, like, we've kind of got your back too, Nichol, by doing it this way. Cause he's like, and then if then I just have your phone. And if anything comes up, we can just address it,
Right. Yeah. Just reminding her, don't forget that.
Yeah.
We have you too. Yeah. Yep.
I don't know. Yeah. But I think that Ho Chi Winter says he's not acting like a cop investigating the death of 3 people. No, he's not. And she's not responding like she's being interviewed by an investigator who just reminded her that this is a homicide investigation of 2 children,
Right. Yeah. They're both inappropriate.
Yeah. Both highly inappropriate. So, hi, Ontario to Ryan. How are you? It's very nice to see you. Let's see what Ontario to Ryan says. She gets real quiet after he asks those questions. To me, that says she doesn't want to talk about that. Yeah, I mean, because if you look at, her verbal patterns here and, tells of when she's lying or when she's truthful, if ever she is, quiet is not in her baseline. Quiet is not a baseline normal behavior or response mechanism by Nichol Kessinger. So when she is quiet like that and kind of mutters those, no, I know, that is sort of a tell of her lying. Like Zena and I were saying in the last live stream, when we were speaking before the live stream, we both agreed that Chris Watts and Nichol Kessinger both have this tell of when they're lying where they'll sort of talk and then mumble and kind of let it trail off in a mumble flop. And yeah, I think so.
Yep, definitely.
So Double R wants me to read this, and I'd like to read anyway. It says, I believe analyzing this over and over, you think he's hinting her, but 0 hour when it's you trying to figure out which way to approach the husband's mistress. I think he was easing his way into this. Oh, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. And hi, Becky. How are you? Becky Boo says he's acting more like an attorney, like her attorney, I think you mean, than a detective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. There was another one. And grouping of letters. Welcome. How are you? Says they allowed her to play victim card gracefully. It seems as if he was intimidated by her. He would not stop rambling. Yeah. I mean, it does seem.
Yeah, that's a good way of describing his behavior.
Yeah, it definitely is. Here, I want to go to another part of this interview that we actually, I don't think we've listened to at all during a live stream.
Okay.
And again, she's speaking about the children, and well, let's see what you guys think.
and everybody stood up for him. His friends stood up for him. I really thought she.
To give you some context, this is, I'm going to go back just a little bit. This is towards the end of the interview. And then I also want you to just notice, we were listening to a little excerpt in the beginning of the interview. Notice how her kind of demeanor and behavior and body language and tone has completely changed at this point.
This is what happened when my parents separated and we were this old. And just try to give him a reference because.
Could you guys mute yourselves for just a minute, because I don't have my sound quality isn't optimal here because of the mystery thing that happened earlier. Thank you so much. Just because this interview is not high quality sound. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Because I gave it to him.
Right. Okay.
But just because I care about him and I care about his kids and all of that doesn't mean that I'm ready to turn around and
Did he ever say anything like that? Do I have to get rid of my kids, or
no,
do I,
You know
it
what?
shocked me just as much.
Hold it. I'm sorry. I'm just going to go back one more minute. I'm sorry, guys. I just want to have a context and the full conversation here. All right. Okay.
I could.
Okay. So I'm just making 100% sure that those.
So that's why I pinned this part. He says it again. I'm just making 100% sure that this never happened. I don't know, guys. I feel the way he is couching the question is very intentional.
It is. His words are so he's thinking of every single word that comes out.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I asked him about Charlotte.
Yeah, you asked me about Charlotte and eHarmony, and I went through
Right.
my text and I was like, what is he talking about? And I couldn't find it. So
Do you hear how she's talking like a baby? And I was like, what is he talking about? And I couldn't find it. But this is her. It's funny, but this is her
So bad.
manipulating. She's manipulating him.
Cringing.
Yeah.
well, I was wondering if maybe somebody referenced both of those to you, but not in together.
Okay.
I'm wondering if that's where that came from.
So Charlotte is your friend. She's your closest friend.
Yeah.
You guys have this conversation, but it never went anywhere besides her and you.
Yeah,
You never mentioned it to Chris. You never said anything about your kids, or his kids, pardon me, damaging your guys' relationship. Or nothing like that.
Never. And and even in that, it wasn't I never said that his kids were a problem. It's just he already has life. I don't know about that.
So in light of what's occurred, though, what I'm trying to make sure is that there was never a conversation that you guys had that he might have thought that you were saying, I can't be with you if you have kids.
I wouldn't.
See, he's I'm just trying to make sure that there was never this kind of conversation happen. She's like, oh, I get it now,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I wouldn't be with him if I couldn't.
Okay. So I'm just making 100% sure that those.
I promise you.
Okay.
I really want you to pull these texts because all the stuff I've been telling you will sync up.
And I hope we can. I haven't been very lucky with your phones yet. There's been nothing but a pain. So this one's coming with me.
Okay, I think.
Jeez.
I know this is a task. I'm gonna. Somebody might be able to, but whatever. I'm gonna send these to you.
Is it okay to?
No, that was kind of something between me and her. And it wasn't even really the kids. It was that he'd already been married before, and I was just I don't know if I am in a long-term relationship with this guy. Is that something he would eventually want? Because that's something I would eventually want.
So your concern was more about his prior marriage than his children?
I guess. I wasn't really that worried about him at that time. If you read the majority of those texts, it's very, very flattering to him and all of these things that I have to say about him.
Okay.
Which is that
Okay, guys. Now I just have to point this out. She says, honestly, I wasn't very worried about him at that time. Guys, the texts that they are referencing are between Kessinger and Charlotte Nelson, and those texts are from August 12th, the day before the murders.
Wow.
Yeah. Well
So
planned.
like bullshit. Like I wasn't really worried about him that much at the, you know, it wasn't really all that serious at that time. Are you kidding me?
Is it okay to be unmuted now?
Well, just while the interview is playing, if you could just hit, if that's okay, if you could just hit mute while it's playing, so everyone can hear it. You know, I'm talking. So I'll try to stop pausing it, but I can't believe she got away with so much deception.
I wasn't 100% committed to him yet. I mean, I was monogamous with him. I wasn't seeing any other men, but I wasn't like, hey, this is the guy I want to spend the rest of my life with. And part of the reason that I was uncertain, I mean, yeah, he'd already built a life, but honestly, like, he wasn't out of the marriage that he was already in.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm not going to go tell the whole world, like, hey, I've got this guy, and, you know, I'm going to take in his kids, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. And it wasn't because I had any problems with them. It's just.
Okay.
I know the context of that text now, like, looking at it looks so bad.
You have to look at it from the perspective that I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
And how it could be misconstrued or made out to sound something another way. That's why I wanted to give you the opportunity to say what it really means.
Give you the opportunity.
Okay.
No, I don't mean any harm towards those kids. I always thought they were so cute. When he showed me those pictures, he was all about them, you know. And not only that, but it's like, once you guys get those texts, you will see, like, there's not very much mention of his children. And if there is mention of his children, it's always like cute stuff where it's like, hey, you should show them this, or hey, this apartment's great for them, or, you know, what do you think about beds? And, you know, like, those little girls like reminded me of my little sister. They're like the same age.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
Kevin Kovac goes, yeah, you said that
like,
before.
It was so cute. Like, he would call his little daughter, the younger one, Phoebe, he'd call her Rampage. He'd like, she's wild, and it used to just make me smile.
Sorry.
Whoa.
Whoa. Sorry, I started playing another video.
You know her name? And it just was kind of like spot on, you know? And so, like, it just kind of made me think, like, okay, these guys are going through a divorce at the same age that I was at when my parents went through a divorce. And it's like, how did I handle that? You know, and I tell them, like, you know, this is what happened when my parents separated and we were this old. And just try to, like, give him a reference because I gave it to him.
Right. Okay.
I mean, but just because I care about him and I care about his kids and all of that doesn't mean that I'm ready to turn around and, like, commit everything.
Did he ever say anything like that? Like, do I have to get rid of my kids, or
No.
do I, you know?
This shocked me just as much as I think it shocked the rest of the world. All of it. Like, he lied so much. Now I go back and think about all this shit, and I'm like, it's lies. Everything that they knew about him was like lies. I mean, his friends let him stay the night at their house. He even fooled them. It's not just me. He lied to everybody. He had all of you fooled.
Wait, there's like 4 more minutes to listen to here that are important. But when she says, this shocked me just as much as it shocked the rest of the world, look at Kevin Kovac's body. Like, just listen and watch him.
On page, he's like, she's wild, and it used to just make me smile because my little sister was totally rampage. And it just was kind of like spot on, you know? And so, like, it just kind of made me think, like, okay, these guys are going through a divorce at the same age that I was at when my parents went through a divorce. And it's like, how did I handle that? You know, and I tell them, like, you know, this is what happened when my parents separated and we were this old. And just try to, like, give him a reference because I gave it to him.
Right. Okay.
Now watch him.
Just because I care about him and I care about his kids and all of that doesn't mean that I'm ready to turn around and, like, commit everything.
Did he ever say anything like that? Like, do I have to get rid of my kids, or
No.
do I, you know?
This shocked me just as much as I think it shocked the rest of the world. All of it. Like, he lied. So
What's up
much.
with that? Do you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Yes.
That's so bizarre, and I've I've always thought her saying those words that shocked me just the way it shocked the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
It should shock her a whole lot more than that shocked the rest of the world. She knew this guy. She was sleeping with this man.
Right, right.
I mean, that's the most ludicrous thing to say. But yeah, you're absolutely right about his body language. That's odd. That's very
Yeah. Did you see anything there, Rose? You there? Oops, let me see if she's still there.
Just give me 1 second, Cal. I have
Oh,
the
I'm
dogs.
sorry. Yeah.
That's okay. I have the dogs. Hang on 1 minute.
Oh,
Go
no
on.
problem.
I'll be
Here,
back.
I'm just going to go back just a couple seconds. So everybody in chat, just when she says this shocked me just as much as it shocked the rest of the world, like what he's doing with his, just let me know if you have any thought on this. Maybe I'm just like overthinking it. I don't know.
At the same age that I was at when my parents went through a divorce. And it's like, how did I handle that? You know, I tell them, like, you know, this is what happened when my parents separated and we were this old. And just try to, like, give him a reference because I gave it to him.
Right, okay.
I mean, but just because I care about him and I care about his kids and all of that doesn't mean that I'm ready to turn around and, like, commit
Did
everything.
he ever say anything like that? Like, do I have to get rid of my kids, or
No.
do I, you know?
This shocked me just as much as I think it shocked the rest of the world. All of it. Like, he lies so much. And I go back and think of all this shit, and I'm like, it's lies. Everything I knew about him was like lies. I mean, his friends let him stay the night at their house. He even fooled them. It's not just me. He lied to everybody. He had all of you fooled. And everybody stood up for him. His friends stood up for him.
Okay, so yeah, Elizabeth Bridges says that sweeping hand motion that he made, like, I feel, okay, let's see. Let me see what anyone else said. It's such weird wording too. Hooptastic says she's distancing, lumping herself in with the rest of the world, not him, or not as his future wife. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Oh, DTC Primetime says it's like he's sweeping her bullshit off the table. Yeah, I like what I felt like when she was like, it shocked me just as much as it shocked the rest of the world. I felt like he was like, come on, like more
Yeah.
than that. Like
I did too.
You did too?
I did. Like enough. Like he almost wants to say enough. Enough of this bull.
Oh, I thought he was like, I was reading even differently. Like,
I think he gets fed up a little bit.
Yeah. That's probably it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Honestly, it looks to me like he wants to backhand her.
Yeah, I do.
know.
I agree on that for sure.
He's over it in this interview. I like that you can finally hear his frustration, but I just wish he did something more about it, you know?
Yes.
So, all right, let me keep playing this here.
I really thought she left. I was like, let her fucking go. You know, come back in a day. She'll be all right. Let her cool down. She'll be here. It'll be okay. You know, like, how do we convince? Like, I think she's just upset. And then.
Did you guys hear that?
What?
When she left, I said, let her fucking go.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah. I think, I mean, I could have, regardless of what she did or didn't know, I feel like that's a response from like her. Like, who fucking cares about anyone but myself? Let her fucking go.
Yeah.
Not fucking me. Who cares? You know?
Kelly, Downtown Wonder has a good question. She said,
good.
Legally, does she even have to be there?
Legally, I don't know. Well, let me give you some context. Legally, I don't think, according to what we know about her as a witness, and Kevin Kovac emphasizes this in the other video recorded interview. We were actually going to listen to a part of it where he says this. He's like, in the beginning, he's like, I just want you to know that you're here as, a witness, not as a suspect, basically. And, you're free to leave the room anytime you'd like. If you don't want to answer a question, don't answer it. Mm-hmm. I know I'm kind of in the way of the door, but, like, you can leave.
Right.
He makes a point of telling her that. Now, for this interview, the reason she came into the police station was having to do with the phones. So they could get more information off of her phone, or she could turn in her phone. It just so happens, this is how it sounds, that she popped a squat and ended up talking to him for a few hours again. So that is a good question, though.
Thank you.
So Ara says, what do you think about the hair flip there? You know, I noticed that she started like playing with her hair a lot there. And I think I personally believe it could be read two ways. Let me know what you guys think. I think that she's, you know, people touch their hair and play with their hair as a signal of flirtation. You also do that as kind of like a nervous sort of like blocking type of, you know, like fidgeting, subconscious fidgeting. So I personally could read it either way there.
I do too.
Yeah. So yeah, and Rosie says, right, she didn't have to be there. Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, Elizabeth says, and welcome Elizabeth, says she wanted to steer the narrative and see what they had. I think that's very true. A little earlier she said, you know, it's almost like I want to like sit down with you guys and look at the text messages, and like I bet you do, because she wants to see what they have. Now she again says during the phone interview, which actually chronologically happened before this interview, she says, you know, the same thing. It's almost like, you know, I need to sit down and look at those messages and match them up and move them around. And, you know, he's like, yeah. And he finally cuts her off and he's like, yeah, well, you know, we actually might have to do that. You know, I think that she is really, DTC primetime fishing. I think she's really just trying to find out through a number of means, what do they have on her, you know?
Yeah, she's trying to find out what do they have on me. He's trying to find out what are you hiding. They both have an agenda.
Yeah.
It strikes me that it's
Wait, one of you guys has a TV on the background. Could you turn it off, please? Whoever it is. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
It strikes me that it's sort of putting the cart before the horse to say that she's a victim and that she's innocent, that she didn't have anything to do with anything, and that she's not in any kind of trouble.
Right.
When they haven't investigated yet. Like
exactly.
They're coming to that conclusion before they do any investigating. That's ridiculous.
Exactly. And now, okay, so you know what? Let's go back to that. Let's go back to that, because that little soundbite is going to be next. Let's definitely not forget that, because you make a very, very good point. So let's just I'm just going to play these next like 3 minutes out, and then we're going to go back to that point, Zena.
Do you want me to mute my mic again?
Yes, if you don't mind. Thank you very much. Sorry, I don't mean to be bossy. I just know that I don't have my earbuds, so the sound isn't going to be that great. So.
No, that's fine. Here we go.
Never. I mean, even now, when I go back through this stuff, that I'm like, it doesn't make sense, you know, or it like seems a little off. That still doesn't send a red flag to me, like, hey, this guy's gonna murder his family.
Sure. I don't think there was you didn't have any indication, and by all accounts, it doesn't seem like anybody did.
No, I just, like, you know, sometimes I like, try not to think what that man is thinking, because, like, you don't know, you know, but it's like, how long has his brain been, like, shifting to this paradigm shift where he feels the need to do this? It's like, I just don't believe that it's something that just happens in a day or 2 days. I don't think it happens in 2 months. I think that this is something that takes a very, very long time to develop. I don't know.
Right. So that scares you when you look back at it?
Yeah, because I think about it, I'm like, he could have had that capacity to do that, whether I was in his life or not. He could have had the capacity to do that, maybe not even just to them. It could have been.
There she goes, steering the narrative, whether I was in his life or not.
Me. It could have been our coworkers. I mean, the more I think about it, I think a lot of people are going to probably assume that I was the catalyst for his movement, but I don't think, you know, not me like instructing him, but him deciding to do that because he had in his life because he was so like infatuated with what we had going on. But you know, like I try to put the reason to it at the end, like why would you wipe out your family to be with me? Like it doesn't like compute. It's like, how would that go? Like, hey, my family just disappeared, and you think that I'm gonna just not be concerned about that? And not only that, like, he was so about those little girls, and I always try to, like, push him to do that. Like I told you, like, there'd be days where, like, he would want to come over my house after work. I'd be like, no, go in with your kids. Your kids are home. Like, that was me. That wasn't even him. That was me pushing that. And he would go do it, you know, and he spent time with them, but he was never like, oh, I don't want to hang out with them. He'd just be like, can I see you for a few hours? And I'm like, if your kids are awake, go hang out with your kids. You know, if they're sleeping, and you want to talk, you call me, but don't do that while they're up. Let's spend time with them. And I just, oh my God. And that is the part that I have, like, the hardest part swallowing, where it's like, why would you take them out to spend time with me? Like,
now, first of all, there's no way in the world she sincerely thinks that, because she is the center of everyone's world. That is her view of things. Now, the other problem I have with this is she is saying she as though she's retelling a story. There were times when he would want to come over to my house after work, and I would say, no, go spend time with your kids. Well, according to their timeline of their relationship, the kids were only home a total of 5 nights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nights during their whole relationship, according to their timeline. So this whole diatribe that she's rolling out here about how I was always encouraging him to spend time with his kids. I would not allow him to come over. I'd be like, no, go spend time with your kids. Why would you want to spend time with me if you could spend time with your kids? It's just such a load of bullshit.
Yeah, it is.
I think there's like 1 more minute here.
it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit at all.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
I have like the hardest part swallowing, where it's like, why would you take them out to spend time with me? Like, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
But you said he was infatuated with you.
But even then, if he's so all about me, and I support him being with his kids, you would think that he would want to do what would make me happy.
It's a good point.
And
So maybe
what
that's
would
why
make me happy
was him hanging out with his
with
kids.
his kids.
Such bullshit.
And send texts, and phone conversations. I mean, so this is saying that
We'll
doesn't,
look at it.
it doesn't,
That one particular context in that just, it's so open, kind of the interpretation and whether or not you said it. That's why I wanted to address it in particular. Okay?
yeah, there's nothing like that in our text. I can tell you that right now. Never.
I just seen this.
Yeah, sorry.
How's you ever getting work done? You get sidetracked.
I actually got a lot of work done.
I'm just teasing you.
It was a lot easier in the oil field than it was in the other two, so.
And then she starts talking about how life was so hard out in the oil rigs, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, this person's shit. She is like, woo, it's like you get a headache just listening to her. I don't know. Let's see. This is true. Downtown Wonder says it would have been interesting to see her actions if she was interviewed by a female. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Here's another good comment. So, Elizabeth Bridges says, her phone is bothering me. Why didn't he make her set it to the side? Great question, Elizabeth. Now, what's also really interesting about her and her being connected to the phone is, well, first of all, obviously she could have been on there doing anything with it, right? She's already deleted, messages between her and Chris. And, she admits to that, but she lies about the reasoning. And then just in this interview, she lies about not deleting messages between herself and anyone else because she deleted all of the messages between herself and Charlotte Nelson per the discovery, right? And then, a Curious Rose and I noticed, in a previous live stream when we were talking about Charlotte Nelson, that, she's referring to certain messages, and Kevin Kovac is like, oh, yeah, just send him, just take a screenshot and just email him to me. Like, what? Like, you're going to take her word for anything? Seriously? I don't know. What do you guys think?
It's crazy.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really is.
She has them in the palm.
She does.
Well, and that's why I think that there were instructions from the outset to handle her with kid gloves.
Yes.
Yes. Her father, I gather that her father knew one or more people in the Frederick Police Department.
Yeah.
I mean, he's on a first name basis with Nick. And could we have
No. When he says Nick, he's talking about Nick. He's talking to I'm sorry, we've already hashed this out. When he says Nick, he's talking to Nicole. Like he's like that's like a nickname for her or something. Because there was no Nick who was an investigator. There was Nicole Atkinson, there was Nicole's Atkinson's son, and then there was Nichol Kessinger, because people asked that question, so we looked into it. So I believe he was talking to Nicole.
When he says, wait, Nick, wait, did you hear what I said?
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's saying, wait, Nicole, wait, like,
yeah. I've never seen it that way. I've always seen it like he was talking to the investigator.
Yeah. Well, I did too, but then we asked the question, is there any other Nick who's an investigator or something? And there just isn't. So I guess like that's, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's kind of open to interpretation, but yeah, I mean, there is no other.
I'll have to watch it again like that. But yeah, it seems very specific that he's talking to the investigator.
Well, we can watch it. We can watch it.
Yeah.
So now, just as far as some of the things that we're discussing here, for those of you who haven't seen this in the discovery, I've talked about it a couple times here, but when they do start to introduce the evidence that is generated, the so-called evidence that's generated from Nichol Kessinger, on the first piece of supplemental information is this, where, what it says is, I have to go over the other screen to read it. Recorded interview of Nichol Kessinger, in parentheses, but in capital letters, protect identity, on August 15th, 2018. So that's in reference to her first interview on the 15th. This is before they even knew for certain, right? I think that this was a murder case. Yes, that's correct. Because then they have her come in the next day on the 16th to do the video recorded interview, because they found out over that night, they recovered the bodies. Yeah. So on the date of the first interview with her, they have this note, protect identity. That interview, when you listen to it, is really like an introductory interview. She's reading her script over for the first time, and they're asking her initial questions. So then the other thing that somebody asked about, Downtown Wonder asked about, that we were referencing, is in the August 16th recorded interview, Hold on, I just got to change screens here. Okay, this one. We'll just listen to the first couple of minutes to just find out, how they were treating her. To your question, Downtown Wonder, did she have to be there?
Okay. So again, this room is recorded and video and audio. We introduced ourselves in the lobbies and earlier, so we're just going to do that again real quick. My name is Kevin Kovac. I'm with the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, and we're assisting the Frederick Police Department with this case involving Chris Waltz. And this is Tim Martinez, also an agent at CUI. So if you just introduce yourself.
Dwayne Kessinger. I'm Nicole's father.
And what's your birthday?
November 3rd, 1958.
And home address for you, sir?
8801 West 65th Avenue.
Let's see.
And that's Arvada, 8004.
And a cell phone or a home phone or what?
720-982-4547.
Thank you. And Nicole, can you just introduce yourself for the recording?
Nichol Kessinger.
Yes, please.
12255 Clark Court. And it's 612. Phone number 720-656-9605.
Claude Court, is that? I think we determined it was North Glen, right? You know your zip code?
80241.
Okay. Can you speak up just a little bit so the recorder? I know you're tired and you're stressed, and we won't be here any longer than we have to be. You've already had a conversation with people before. You came here on your own free will to talk to us. We picked you up at your request and brought you here. You can get up and leave at any time. You don't have to talk to us. If there's a question you don't want to answer, don't answer it. If you don't want to talk anymore, just tell me I want to leave. And I'm kind of in the way of the door, but you're not being interrogated as a criminal suspect. We're here to understand your relationship with Chris and what you know about Chris and his family, and events relating to Chris Watts. And do you know him as Chris or Christopher? Okay. So the phone number that you reached him on, can you tell me what that number was?
I think I deleted that out of my phone too. I just cut him out of my life. It's a 910 number. You guys have it.
And we gave it to Mark yesterday.
Yeah, I probably have it, but just in case.
I don't have it
If I recited it to you, would you know it?
Just the first three numbers.
But you know it as a 910 number?
Yes, that's what I do know. I mean,
That's North Carolina or something.
North Carolina. Okay. So let's just start with a timeline of your getting to know Chris, how you guys met, where you met, all those things. And let's just run. And I'm not going to ask you specific questions unless I think it's necessary. I'll let you just tell me your story. I think it's a little bit easier that way. So I just want to know how you met him, where you met him, how long you guys were dating, and those kind of things initially.
I think I met him sometime in June.
Okay, so I'm sorry. I was looking for something. I wasn't even listening to that. Guys, is that where he said you can leave anytime you want to?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So there's, there's the answer to that. You can leave anytime you want to. He's being very now. Okay, so now to your point, Zena, what you were saying before about putting the cart before the horse or whatever analogy you use there. It's the protect witness noted in the discovery for that first record of her first interview on August 15th. And then this, explicitly stating and making a point to tell her, you're just a witness. You can leave this room anytime you want to. Many people here follow a lot of true crime cases, right? How many times do you hear an investigator explicitly tell somebody who's being questioned all of that? You
Right.
know?
Good
No.
point.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
good point.
We picked you up. We brought you here. Like, what next? He offers her lunch at one point in one of these interviews, his lunch from his car.
I know. I can go get, I got food in my car. You want me to go get it?
Everything. Oh, my goodness.
Crazy. Now, Zena, do you want to talk about what you were explaining to me, what your husband said about the issue of immunity?
Right. My husband's a police officer, and I asked him about immunity. If somebody is lying, it just seemed logical to me that immunity would be revoked. And he said, absolutely. He said it's usually written in a contract, and it's specifically written in before they start that this person is granted immunity. In the event that they are dishonest, the immunity is in fact revoked.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's standard, which makes sense, because why would you give immunity to somebody and then let them take you, down the path, down the rabbit hole?
Right.
Yeah.
Another friend of mine who's very knowledgeable, she saw that discovery piece of paper that you just showed from early in the investigation where it says protect identity. And she was just livid. She was like, what is she, a minor?
Right.
That doesn't make sense. It only would make sense if she was a minor. And yeah, they really do infantilize her a lot.
They do. Yeah.
I mean, it seems clear that she's had a lot of addiction problems and mental health problems, and that she has a history of basically, running amok with her life.
Yeah, there's a history of a lot that you can't say for sure what, but it's there. It's palpable.
Right.
Yeah.
And, basically not a grown up. She's 30 and
right.
Not really ventured out into the world as a grown up. It sounds like the closest to that was living on an oil rig, which is no way to live.
Right.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean,
it's pretty well controlled. That's about maybe all she could handle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Her social skills are lacking. I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
Right. They reflect that of someone that lives on oil rigs for 8 months at a shot.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Jesus.
That's very true. Well, okay, so now let's just go ahead. Well, actually, this is, it's coming right up where he says to her, Kobach says to her, did you know his wife or his children's name? And then this is going to be when she says, it's Shanann, and she gets all tense and makes those strangulation hands. And then watch how, her everything changes when she, starts to mention the kids.
It was just talking at work. It was pretty casual. And he didn't have a wedding ring on his finger.
So hold it. We are 3 minutes and 33 seconds into this, first video recorded interview. 3 minutes in, she makes a point of saying, without being asked, he didn't have a wedding ring on his finger. I mean, it's just from jump here, she continually makes statements as to say, I thought he was getting a divorce. I didn't know his wife was pregnant, because she knows how critical that is, as she has already told law enforcement. Finding that out was the basis for her destroying all of that evidence, right?
Right.
So she's just guilty conscience everywhere.
I talked to him. He didn't tell me that he was in a relationship. He didn't
Yeah.
mention his kids right away either. And then one day he told me that he had 2 kids. I was like, that's pretty cool. And started telling me about his kids.
That sounded like a sarcastic comment.
No, I thought it was kind of cute. I was like, oh, he's a dad. It was like right around Father's Day too. So whenever that is in June.
Look at that. It's he's a dad. And whenever that is. Was that in June? I mean,
that face.
I know. Look at that face.
Look at that expression.
Look at that ugly mug. Damn.
Oof.
I'm trying to zoom in here. Let me see if I can.
With Dad staring at her.
I know. Dad's probably like, get that ugly scowl off your face. Let's just listen to that inflection change again. It's remarkable. And the look on her face. Oh, he's a dad. I think that's probably right about now.
Dad. It's like right around Father's Day too. So whenever that is in June.
Really? Seriously?
Wow.
I know.
Says it all.
It does.
Okay.
So
I'm not good with holidays.
he told me I had kids, and then it was Father's Day shortly after that.
Okay.
So that's what I do now. And I was like, I know, I thought it was cute. And then he's telling me about him. He's pretty excited about him. And then he mentioned
That's
that
stupid statement. He was pretty excited about them.
I know.
As children.
That those two were in the process of
Those
separation.
two.
Did he mention the children's name or his significant other's name?
I didn't know his significant other's name for a while. And then I think he told me his kids' names pretty quick, but to be honest with you, on an exact date of when that happened, I don't know.
Can we stop there?
So
real
in
quick?
May and June,
Yeah.
I didn't know his significant other's name for a while.
Right.
Sure.
I know. Yet I Googled her on September 5th of 2017 and January 7th of 2018 before I was with him. Now, note that, I'm sorry, guys, I misspoke. This is actually not when she says Shanann and does the strangulation hands. He tries to get her to say Shanann's name this first time, and he fails. So listen to how she throws him off track.
Yeah, it was like right around Father's Day too. So whenever that is in June.
okay.
So
I'm not
that's,
good with
he
holidays.
told me I had kids, and then it was Father's Day shortly after
Okay.
that. So that's what I do now. And I was like, I know, I thought it was cute. And then he's telling me about him. He's pretty excited about him. And then he mentioned that he did have a significant other. And then he told me that those two were in the process of a separation.
Did he mention the children's name or his significant other's name?
I didn't know his significant other's name for a while. And then I think he told me his kids' names pretty quick, but to be honest with you, on an exact date of when that happened, I don't know.
So in May and June, first of all, where do you work?
I work at Andarco Petroleum Corporation. I'm contracted to Andarco Petroleum Corporation
Okay, and you work out of an office setting where?
in Platteville, Colorado.
And Chris also works out of that
Okay,
location.
so I'm going to go forward a
Yes.
little more here.
Yes, he's in the field, but he.
So we've established that, they make it very clear to her that she's a witness. She can leave anytime she wants.
I live alone. I don't have any roommates or anything, so it's pretty easy to do that.
So during June and July, were you aware that his family was not did you meet his children?
No.
During
Didn't want
June and
to.
July.
And he didn't ask me to.
Nope, I didn't want to, and he didn't ask me to. Yikes.
Right.
Yeah, then she does some backtracking.
Yeah,
I would love to.
yeah,
Someday, next year.
Oh,
yep,
If we're serious, I'm not sure we are. We'll see.
yep. Oh, girl, she's
It
bad.
was very, very brief, and it was not like an extended stay. I did not feel comfortable there, or like
Ugh.
I just didn't want to be there. It's not my life. Like that is somebody
That's when
else's
she was
life
talking
and somebody
about when
else's
she was at his
existence, and I
house
respect that. That's their space.
on the 20th or whenever. Yeah, 21st.
And so I used to tell him, "Well, come to my house because this is our space. This is my space." And so for me, out of respect, just for like whatever situation he had going on, and the fact that it's not my home, I felt that it was better
Ugh.
to be in my place.
I know everyone wants to vomit because we all know she had no respect for anyone, but moving on.
I live alone. I don't have any roommates or anything, so it's pretty easy to do that.
So during June and July, were you aware that his family was not did you meet his children?
No.
During
Didn't want
June and
to.
July.
And he didn't ask me to.
Okay.
I mean, not that I didn't want to ever. It was just not now. It's like you're not finalized with your separation. And not only that, we've barely been dating. Like, you can't introduce kids to somebody new in a situation like that. That's something that takes time. I mean, Would I have liked to have met them? Of course. They, you know, I mean, that would have been a great honor for me to have somebody introduce their children into my life, you know, but not then. It was something that it was like, okay, well, let's see where we're at in 6 months. Let's see where we're at in a year. And if we're still doing this and you and me are still, you know, happy with where we're at, and you think that this is something that is going to be long-term and is worth bringing your children into the picture, then yes, I would love to meet them. But it's like, not right now. You are still in this situation where you're not even completely out of it. And I'm getting in it, and that's not fair for them. And that was kind of the policy that I had with him, was it was just like, yes, but not yet.
Oh
So
my
did
God.
he ask to introduce you to his children?
Not at that time.
Okay.
I think both him and I were on the same page of eventually, if things went as they should.
I understand you guys' relationship is very new and young.
Yeah.
So although
Look at her cracking her knuckles.
it was short, I just
I
laying everything
never
out
noticed
helps us
that.
understand what actually was going on with him. And
Yep.
I might ask you a question and you're going, why the heck would he ask me that? Probably because I have information that I'm not willing to share with you, and I'll tell you that right now. I'm not going to tell you some questions I'm going to ask you. What the heck? I won't share some information with you. Just it protects you, it protects our investigation. So if it seems weird, there's a reason I'm asking it,
That's
and
fine.
it's usually relative to what I know. So don't take offense to it. Again, it's just part of what we need to know.
Understood.
So just you went to his house on 2 occasions.
Yes.
Was that recent?
No, that was like pretty early into it, and I did not like it and did not want to go back.
Do you recall where the house was?
Yeah, it's like right off the highway in Frederick.
Okay. And you know the streets?
I mean, I'm sure I could figure it out again if I like really had to. Like off the top of my head, no.
Yeah, but we also know that she Googled 2825 Saratoga Trail just 1, 2, 3, 4 days earlier on August 12th after they went to the Lazy Dog. So that's a bunch of bullshit too.
Yep.
Now, this was actually a little bit earlier than this. I forgot I skipped over this part. When she's just talking about BS, and Kobach tells him what he would like to hear about, which is Shanann, the children, finances. And you guys have already probably heard this little soundbite, but in this context, let's listen to her response.
Whatever you guys were talking about, relationship, your life, your interests, those things, we don't need to know that. What I'm interested in is knowing is when he brings up his children, when he brings up his wife, when he brings up financial information, when he brings up his home, when he brings up anything that may have been, and it's been a few days, so you've had a chance to reflect on some articles that you may have read, and unfortunately, that you're in a situation where somebody has been murdered. And that information, when you look backwards in your memory with the conversations with Chris, anything that he might have said that would be relative to that, and I'm not just, even if one day he was mad and he said, I want to do this or do that, anything like that, if he ever made any kind of statements that you were like, whoa, that was weird, or why would he say that, or why did he mention that? Do you understand what I'm looking for?
No, I completely understand. I just feel like some of this happened so long ago that I can't tell you like the exact words of the exact conversation at the exact time and place, because it's like we had a lot of conversations. I mean, we talked every single day. So it's like I'm trying to help you guys with the stuff like the stuff that's more current. I can give you guys a lot more like detail and exact times. But when you're asking me about something that happened 6 weeks ago and exactly what was said, it's like, I mean, I'm sure I can give you a general idea, but to be honest with you, like to pinpoint exact words, it's not going to happen.
I'm not looking for exact words. Just more, let's say 6 weeks ago, he said something that triggered with you last night. That's what I'd be looking for. Or something 4 weeks ago. And if you don't remember where it was or the specific words, that doesn't matter. Just he said something that was off the wall, or he said this, or he said that has caused you a moment to pause and you go, wow, I wonder why he said that. Now knowing what you know today. Do you understand where I'm going with that?
I completely understand. And to be honest with you, I mean, there were several discussions that we had about his current relationship and where it had gone and what it had caused. And he talked about his kids from time to time. But the thing is he was never hostile. It was never anything aggressive. Like even when he spoke of his wife and the fact that they were separating, it was never like ill. It was still very kind. It was just like, this is not working, and
well, I mean, after we learned some things they did talk about, that's hard to believe too. So this next little bite here is the part with the hands. And then just observe, how she says Shanann. And then when she starts talking about, when she says Bella and Celeste, I don't know, you guys watch, let me know what you think. Okay.
Make sure there's nothing written on the back.
There's not. I checked before we go.
Let's go back to North Carolina.
Kelly,
He went to
Kelly,
North
who was
Carolina.
that just came in that room?
It was a guy who first interviewed her. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
It was
I didn't know who. I don't know why I didn't realize that part. Did she hand him something, or he handed her something?
here. Well, let's take a look.
Okay. Thank you.
Because I think I know the answer, but I'm not sure. So I'd
Okay,
rather
thanks.
Yeah, of course.
720.
656 9605.
And this right now is located we're at the Thornton Police Department. It's going to be moved to so this is kind of, doesn't make sense, but we're here. It's going to be moved to the Colorado Bureau of Investigation. He's going to download it here, but I'm going to take it with me. Just so
They're talking about the phone, of course.
It's not staying here.
Okay.
They're not going to retain any of this. This comes with me. Okay?
Anything else you want on there? I think that's about.
That's it. I mean, I don't have social media. I don't really have anything else you guys can pull.
Okay.
Is there anything else you know of that could help us with this that is not on this sheet?
As far as like data,
That's on your phone?
no. I mean, everything we did was like text and talk, pretty much. I mean, and like I said, any pictures that I had, like even if you were to restore all my regular photos, there's so many pictures in there, and you wouldn't even know which ones were for him and which ones weren't. But any picture that I wanted to send to him, I sent via text. So if you guys go through the text and the attachments, you will have everything that wasn't said verbally and was done via text. But I think that's it. Like I don't have anything else. As far as like no Facebook, no Instagram, no Twitter, no LinkedIn, like none of it.
I think
So,
she had.
there was never any.
What's that?
I'm pretty sure she had all that social media, but she shut it all down.
Yeah, I think she had a lot of it too. And I think she's able to like say that and convince herself that she at that moment is not telling a lie because she just deleted it,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In that kind of correspondence. So I think that should probably cover everything you guys will need.
Is there any particular messages that would help me so I don't have to look at? Because whatever's on your phone, I don't know how long we're going to get back to, but let's say is there a particular date or time or message that stands out to you that would be relative to specifically to the investigation into this case that might assist me in understanding why something like this could have occurred?
I'm still in shock that this whole thing happened.
I
Like
can imagine.
I that's why I gave him the benefit of the doubt for the first day, because I was just like, no way. Like I didn't even think about that. I mean, murder was not on the top of my mind when somebody doesn't come home for an evening, especially if they just like had some sort of like heated conversation. It's like, okay, you guys are separating, you have a heated conversation, you leave for a night. Like I didn't even think this guy killed his wife. I mean, that like murder is on something on the top of my mind when I call one of my friends for 3 or 4 hours and she doesn't answer the phone. Like that doesn't even process to me as like a real thing that is a possibility at that point. And so that's why I gave it a day. And then the second day I was talking to him, he was just like a hot mess, I could tell. And then with like the way he was talking to me, and then that's kind of when I cut him off and I stopped talking to him. And then,
So remember what you just said, and we're going to get to that because that's probably a very important
yeah.
conversation.
So if you want to know
So,
days, I would probably honestly just start at like Sunday and work your way forward. I mean, all the rest of that stuff, it's just like the small talk of like, hey, this, you know, I mean.
And your relationship building through the.
Yeah, I mean, like, and if you go like maybe like a week further back, like there's times
No,
like a.
wait, I just want to clarify this. So, hi, Melody, by the way. So, Melody says, oops, they were only missing. Why does she say they were murdered? So, this is the, they recovered Shanann's body just after 12 a.m. I think it was like 12:01.
Yeah.
And that's the 15th going into the 16th.
Right.
I verified that several times.
You're right. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, dear. So this is on the 16th. So they did know that they were murdered at this point, you know. So at some point in the interview, she says, you know, so we didn't know yesterday what we know now, or we know now we didn't know yesterday, or however he says it. And I'm quite sure that that's also what he's referring to. So just want to clarify that.
Yeah.
I was trying to help him find an apartment, like just for him, not for me, but for him and his kids, to get set up. And like, there's times where I'm like, well, where's your wife moving to? Like, how close is she going to be to you? You should be within like 30 minutes of your kids, so they're close. And like, you want to be close to their school and close to your gym. And like, what's your price range? Like, I was helping him get all of this stuff set up, and it was like in a very decent manner. And I don't know if all of that is in text. Some of it's probably on the phone. Like, at this point, I've talked to him so much that I don't even know which parts are like verbalized and which parts are texted at this point, but we can figure it out.
Okay. You see what I wrote? Text messages between Chris Watts and attachments, and then the phone logs for calls between your phone number and Chris Watts. Those are the two things that we'll ask to be extracted from your phone. So if you're okay with that.
How does that say items removed? Cell phone data, isn't that this?
That is that, and that's what he's going to remove, and then that officer is going to fill that out.
Gotcha. What is the date? I don't even know what
Today is the 16th. If you give us your phone, we'll get him started.
Yeah, we want to give you everything, but we also want to be protected in doing so. It's more of the
protected.
It's more of the thing. It's just.
And when he's done, we'll give you
Is there a password or anything like it? Will it lock up after a period of time?
Yeah, so he's just collecting the paperwork in the phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Dad wants to be heard.
I checked before I go out.
Let's go back to North Carolina.
Okay.
He went to North Carolina and he was trying to rehab his marriage with his wife.
He said.
Do you know her name at this point?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you okay saying her name?
It's Shanann.
All right. And do you know the children's name?
Yes, it's Bella and Cece.
She went by, they called her Cece.
Oh, yeah. So that's where
So
she does the strangulation hands. Oops.
DC?
Oops.
Make sure there's nothing written on the back.
There's not. I checked before I go out.
Let's go back to North Carolina.
Okay.
He went to North Carolina and he was trying to rehab his marriage with his wife.
He said.
Do you know her name at this point?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you okay saying her name?
It's
Shanann.
And do you know the children's name?
Yes, it's Bella and Cece.
She went by, they called her Cece. Right. So he went to, were they in North Carolina
They were already
already?
there.
If you want something.
I don't know my stomach will do that.
Veggie chips.
Yeah, they were already
Wow.
out there. He just flew out there to meet up.
Do you know why they were there?
They're all from there.
Oh my
Okay, so
goodness.
they were there
They
for
were visiting her family.
And so now she just goes on to, you know, like make Shanann sound as bad as she possibly can.
Homework. I was like, you just homework.
Wait,
Somebody, I want to know, like,
hold it. I'm just like doing this instead of going to look at the transcript because it gets tiring.
don't scream and yell.
Where? Okay, hold it. Is this where?
pregnant. If he can get away with
Okay.
murder,
This is where he's gonna say, wait, Nick, wait, okay.
you're not gonna. I got divorced from my wife. You said, do you understand what I'm saying here? If she's gone,
But this,
don't lead,
hypothetically,
please. Don't lead on.
hypothetically, if she,
Okay.
you understand where I'm going. If
Right,
you
but you're-
didn't know,
You're leading into questions that are nothing with your,
if you didn't know though,
wait, Nick.
See, he points to her. He says, "Wait, Nick," and he points right to Kessinger.
Good catch.
his wife was pregnant.
Yeah,
Would
just to
would
clarify.
that have changed anything?
Very
Like
good
you
catch.
just said, if I knew his wife was pregnant, I wouldn't be in this picture. So if his wife,
I think we all got an idea though when we didn't have a video first. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
wife was not pregnant, and forgive me, but if he takes her out of the picture, you're never going to know that she was pregnant, right?
What do you mean takes her out of the picture? Like,
If he murdered her, she's out of the picture. You're never going to know if she was pregnant. If he can get away with murder, you're not going to. I got divorced from my wife. You say, do you understand what I'm saying here? If she's gone,
this,
Don't lead,
hypothetically,
please. Don't lead on.
hypothetically,
he holds
If
his
she-
finger up to
you
the
understand where I'm
investigator.
going. If
Right,
you
but you're-
didn't know,
You're leading into questions that are nothing with your,
if you didn't know though
wait, Nick,
that she was there,
did you hear what I said?
I'm following.
Man, he's like he starts pointing at people and like
I know.
I don't know how this happens,
This is so wrong here.
right?
Yeah, this is bad. This part is bad.
This is bad.
Yeah, I just want her to answer a question that relates to. She said something that's important. That if he didn't have a child on the way, or if she didn't know that, she would have continued the relation.
She's literally like totally. I mean, look at this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, talk about guarding body language. You know.
Yeah.
Right?
but he killed his kids. At what point does he think that I'm going to
I'm
be in a
not.
relationship?
I'm not talking about the children. I'm just talking specifically about her. If you only knew, if the kids were still here, and he called you and said, "I'm divorced from my wife," and he gets away with this, do you understand what I'm thinking from his aspect?
I still wouldn't do it. I still wouldn't do it because I'd be like, where did she go?
Okay.
I mean, this is a dumb line of questioning, don't you think?
Yeah, it is.
No. It's like, why? I just don't know. Why? Stuff.
Supposed to spend like half time with them.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Supposed to spend like.
Oh, okay. They're talking about that's a different topic for a different day.
And then I have to think about like the consequences of his actions and how they affect everybody else. Like all of her family's impacted. My name is about to be like
How it affects everyone else, but I'm just going to talk about me.
Mm-hmm.
slandered for probably a while. I don't know how long it's going to take to heal, but I would not be surprised if it's going to be hard to go out in public sometimes for a couple of years. And that really hurts me. I'm just like, this is a horrible, horrible thing. Like,
Is this where she says, "I'm so ashamed of him"?
I think so. Let's see. I'm not
People
sure.
aren't going to understand that.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to say, oh, you're the woman that had an affair with this man who took out his whole family. And I take a step back and it's just like, I didn't know.
What?
That's what I hate the most.
I know.
That is the part.
Like, I
know.
He's so disgusting. I'm so ashamed of him and everything. And
I'm so ashamed of him.
I know. People make a deal about that. I'm not sure what to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know what you guys think.
She
Well, let's
is
listen. Go ahead.
ashamed. She's ashamed of herself, but she's trying to not reveal that.
Right,
and she
right.
realizes that
Yeah.
she just revealed it. So she says, "I'm so ashamed of him."
Yeah.
Yeah, she has to remove herself from any shame.
Yes.
fair. It wasn't fair to me to have him lie to me and make me think that everything is going to plan. And still to this day, I don't even know what's a lie and what's not. I don't even know if they were like filing for divorce. I don't know if they were putting the house up. I don't even know anymore what is real and what is not. But what I do know is it's just like, that wasn't fair to me either, because if I'd have known not even all the truth, but like obviously some of it, I wouldn't have, even engaged in any of this in the first place. And it just, I mean, and that's the part for me.
I'll try
just
to
like
zoom in.
on
I don't
my
know if I
personal
can.
level, outside of everything that is happening, that is gonna affect me long term. It's like, you know, I'm gonna wake up every day and know that like this mom and her unborn child and these two little girls are not around anymore. It's gonna
wait, hold
affect-
it. Wait a minute. I just got everything all messed up here. Just 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Let me pull back out to, let's see. All right. Okay. I see. Doodly doo. Trying to zoom in for you, Ara. I was trying to do that earlier, but I gave up. Thanks for reminding me to get back to it. Okay. Yeah, but then I can't scroll down. Let's see if I. Yeah, I think in share mode. I'm not sure if it's going to do it, but let's see. Yeah, it's the best we're going to get right now.
What is real and what is not. But what I do know is it's just like, you know, that wasn't fair to me either, because if I'd have known not even all the truth, but like obviously some of it, I wouldn't have even engaged in any of this in the first place. And it just, I mean, and that's the part for me, just like on my personal level, outside of everything that is happening, that is gonna affect me long term. It's like, you know, I'm gonna wake up every day and know that like this mom and her unborn child and these two little girls are not around anymore, and it breaks my heart. It is so, and then I have to think about like the consequences of his actions and how they affect everybody else. Like all of these, her family's impacted. My name is about to be like slandered for probably a while. I don't know how long it's going to take to heal, but I would not be surprised if it's going to be hard to go out in public sometimes for a couple of years. And that really hurts me. I'm just like, this is a horrible, horrible thing. Like, how dare you, you know? And people aren't going to understand that. You know, they're going to say, oh, you know, you're a woman that had an affair with this man who took out his whole
Yeah, I
family.
agree, Ara.
I take a step back and it's just like, I didn't know. Like, it's, he's so disgusting. I'm so ashamed of him and everything. And I just, all those little girls, they're so little. They're so little.
We talked a little bit earlier about getting some help for these things, and we can provide that. I really.
One more thing. We just want to make sure there's resolution. That's why we come to you guys. Pound it down.
I'm sorry that you're talking again today. I really am. I don't want to put you through any more trauma than you already been through. There is reasons for everything that we're doing today and what occurred. And I'm sorry. I genuinely am sorry. These are not things that we like to do twice. It's the same thing with other types of victims from other crimes. We want to do it once and we want to be done. Unfortunately, we didn't know yesterday what we know today. And that's why we're here, because we need this video. And I am sorry, because I know it's hard to talk about it.
But it's so sad, and she's pregnant.
And you know what? On our end, we didn't.
They're so cute. They're so little. Like, why? How? I don't even understand how you could like bring yourself to do that to somebody who's like that big.
Okay, and that's another part that, you know, people say, you know, the hand gesture there, you know, don't know how you can bring yourself to do something to someone who's that big. Oops, I gotta go back to, I can't.
Yeah, it's so precise. To me, that just speaks volumes that you saw them in person.
See, I could go either way, because I think, you know, I think a little kid is a general little kid size, but maybe, I don't know. I know a lot of people do think that, though.
He's so disgusting. I'm so ashamed of him and
Oops,
everything.
I went back too far. Sorry.
So sad, and she's pregnant.
And you know what? On our end, we didn't.
They're so cute. They're so little. Like, Ow, I don't even understand how you could like bring yourself to do that to somebody who's like that.
You know.
See, I think it's real general for her to say they're so cute, they're so little. Yeah, that makes sense. But then when she puts her hand out and says they're like this big.
No, it says, how
and
could you
it's
bring yourself
so
to do someone who's like
specific.
that big?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it
What
was
do you-
just general.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a debatable one. I know a lot of you out there think that. Now check out the recovery time.
It's quick.
Well, that's such it's like, did you see her before her dad gets up? She's crying, she has her hands. She pulls her hands away like she's out.
Do you want to
What's
step
going
out for a minute?
on?
Yeah, she's
Then
peeking
she
at him.
the drama.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. She's a nut job and a half.
She sure is.
Is she looking at the camera?
Yeah.
Oh, that is
Back
creepy.
there. Yeah.
She looked at the camera too.
Wow, that was just creepy.
Yeah, here.
Do you
Oh,
want to step out for a minute?
Yeah, they're here.
yeah,
Wait, they got
it's significant.
Yeah, I had said it earlier. It's like she locks eyes with the camera.
She does. Oh,
Look at that.
wow, is
Super
that
creepy.
scary?
Isn't she Look at that.
That's terrifying to me.
We're talking about like demonic.
You know, you're going to be so overwhelmed with the situation.
Right. You're not even
You're
looking
going to
right.
forget that there's a camera.
Yes, you would.
But look at that. We see her demon eyes.
Yeah, she's totally focused on that. Oh, that is a demon face.
It is.
You know, I really think this chick has the Charles Manson eyes.
She does.
Yeah.
I agree. I gotta agree with
see
you on
those
that.
Charles Manson eyes?
Let's get
Oh,
to the
she got
Yeah.
the crazy eyes. She had the crazy eyes right there looking at that camera.
Big time.
There's pardon me on Sunday. From
Keeps
9 to
looking at the
11.
camera.
Mm.
That, you know.
We talked a few times. So
he just asked about the 111-minute conversation. She goes, "Yeah, we talked a few times."
Sunday.
And now she's all composed.
Take a couple
It's
breaths and
amazing.
take a second.
Unreal.
I don't even know. I don't think I was like concerned about anything.
That's not the question. So, okay, guys. So let's get a couple people in chat and let me know what you guys think. I feel like we didn't cover everything I wanted to because we had that long period of silence when I was muted, but I have to get going soon because I've got to go to work in the morning.
I know, I'm so tired.
Yeah.
I had a long day.
Yeah. It's a long day. She's going to, Leatherface goes, she's going to manipulate me in my dream. I'm sorry, Leatherface. We have a support group for that.
That's a nightmare now. I can't get that face out of my mind now. Her staring up at that camera. I don't like that. That really creeped me out.
I know. Yeah. I mean, Bridget Rose says, yeah, Black Soul. I mean,
yes,
it really is creepy.
It is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Are you guys familiar with the Facebook group called Investigate Nichol Kessinger?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, back a bit. Yeah. I was, back a ways. I was. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an interesting group, but I definitely think she is sock profiles, more than one sock profile in that group. You know, there's a little army of people that are always standing up for her and saying, no, don't investigate Nichol Kessinger. And it's like, what are you doing in a group called Investigate Nichol Kessinger to say, no, don't do it? You know? I mean, who's going to put their time and energy into that?
Right. Yeah.
Huh. I don't know. She's just crazy.
Well, I think she watches shows like yours, Kelly, and I think she keeps
does.
I think she keeps a close eye on this stuff.
I do.
because
I definitely.
she's in the danger zone. She's
Yeah.
guilty, and she knows it, and she knows that people like you are onto her.
She's still hiding for a reason.
So
She's
which
not in
one
the
of you
news.
is really Nichol Kessinger? Come on, fess up, fess up. You're really Nichol Kessinger? Type 1 in chat. Oh, that's great.
Will the real Nichol Kessinger please stand up?
Kelly, I knew it.
Me.
I knew
Yes,
it. You were
Kelly,
too
it's
good to be
you.
true.
What's the obsession? Obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, Downtown Wonder makes another good point. It says, not one time in this interview has she said that she was wrong to take up with a married man or feels guilty. She has not stated, not one time. I mean, I dare someone to find one time in this 10 hours of the collection of interviews where she says she was wrong or she feels guilty about anything.
Well, she did say, you got to give her that. She said it at least once. She said, the only thing I did wrong was sleep with a married man.
Okay.
That's all I did wrong. That's all I did wrong.
I think
the
she
only
said
thing
it
I'm guilty
once.
of.
Yeah.
And it's like, get over it.
Right. I mean, she says before that even if, they hadn't really met, she was sure this was probably going to happen with them getting divorced. She distanced herself very, very quickly.
Yeah.
This can't be my fault. This in no way is my fault.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
So in the next one, Kelly, we can talk about Trent Bolt and that other.
Oh yes, another time. Well, go ahead if you wanna. Go ahead if you wanna.
Well, just real briefly, there's evidence that she knows Trent Bolt and the other woman that said that she had a tryst with Chris.
Oh yeah, Amanda something. Yeah.
Not only is there evidence of that, but then when the investigators asked Chris in Wisconsin if he wants to press charges against these people for slander, he's like, "Oh, absolutely not. Oh, these poor people, It's
right,
like,
yeah.
I know.
He's trying to protect NK again because he knows that she put them up to it. In my opinion.
Maybe. I mean, that's like something I looked into that like a long time ago, and I guess other people have learned more than I have about that issue, about like the connection between them, like they're connected some certain way on Facebook, and I personally don't know all that much about it though.
I don't either.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, both of them, when they spoke with the investigators knew that they were BSing. They just did not have specific information. They were obviously lying. And yeah, they both have clear connections to NK.
Yeah. Do you know what the connections are?
Like friends of friends, mutual friends, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
One of them might work in the oil field. I can't remember if one of them does.
Okay, we can look into that. Yeah. See,
they don't live that far away, too.
Yeah, I mean, there might be like the way that I've seen it, and I could very well be wrong. But by the way, everybody, I paused it on like the Satan Eyes because I think.
Oh, you did, yes.
Like we're saying, you've got to like really watch it on your TV, or you've got to like see it on, if it's on. Is this what you're talking about? If it's on your mobile phone, you're not going to get the full effect.
She didn't realize I'm watching it on a big screen too. It's frightening.
Yeah. So, but with the Trent Bolt and the connections, like I do believe that there's some kind of a connection on Facebook and things like that. Now, again, like people might know more about this than I do, or I might be wrong about this, but the way I guess I've looked at it is, like Kevin Bacon and the what is it, like 6 degree, how many degrees of separation?
6 degrees.
Yeah. Like I feel like, almost everybody, if you look for it, is connected to everybody else. Like I feel like you can generally find that connection. Now that might not be the case, but I mean, I do know that, that Amanda girl she did work for Nicole Atkinson at the hair salon. That's correct, right?
Right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Right.
I do know there's that connection. So yeah, we could definitely look into it though. Let me see if anyone in chat has anything to say.
I agree with what you're saying about the 6 degrees of separation, but I think that Nicole was really trying to take the heat off of her, and
Oh yeah, she was.
trying to make it look like she was not Chris's only love interest outside of his marriage.
Right. Yeah. Possibly.
Like she was just a face in the crowd.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right. Let's see. I'm checking this out. Started to go Shanann line. Hi, Lobo. How are ya? Nice to see ya.
Yeah, she is sketchy, Lobo.
She is. Aaron says, why would she have a problem saying Shanann's name? Shanann didn't do anything to her. Hell no, she didn't. And maybe NK should have stayed the F away until Chris was actually divorced. Yeah, I mean, for sure. Jeez.
I love the language of "we're getting separated."
Right.
I do too.
But, I mean, nobody's ever said we're getting separated. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
No,
We're getting separated.
Yeah. That's right. I don't know. Let's see. Start the chat side first, you said.
And it's up quite a ways, Kelly. You're probably on StreamYard, not going to be able to find it. But earlier, a couple people commented, and I had agreed. It's when her father jumps to the, your leading part. At first, when he tells him to stop, he says, "Wait, this isn't within the," and he stops.
Yeah, this isn't within your
within the what, like the bar, the deal you have with
exactly.
What is it? He stops.
I've noticed that too. I was almost going to pause there, but I was pausing a lot. And I was like, it wasn't really in the scope of the topic.
Right.
I think it's a really good point.
It is.
I haven't noticed that.
It's bizarre.
Yeah, he's like, it's not within your what?
What the secret agreement? Like
exactly.
What?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I think that there's definitely something there because
there is.
We go back to the discovery where it clearly shows that they are protecting her identity.
Yes.
And then
right, that's right.
So, and that what's right beneath this here? So then it's Ronnie Watts, okay. I thought there was something that was right around this document that was also a little bit telling. It might be right. I can't remember what it was. I'm not sure. Let's see. Let me go over. Collected item log. Oh, I know. I mean, let me just show you this. I'm just going to do this. Okay. So this protected identity bit here, I've shared with you before that it's on this form right here, FD-1087, revision 5810. So that's the date it was revised. Okay. So if you, here, we have to share a different screen because I don't want to go off of that one. FD-1087, whoops. FD-1087, FBI report. Okay. So now, let's see. Watch this not work for me like it did before, but we're going to try.
I hear somebody's doggy.
No, it's my rabbit. I want him like, shut up, medium bunny. Her name is Medium. Yeah, she's like scratching at the, I don't know. They dig, I don't know. She's being too loud for me not having earbuds. So when you pop that into, Google searching, Nichol Kessinger taught me how to do this. What it does is it lists all FBI evidence logs of various pieces of evidence in cases where there were matters of, like here, it says national security - intelligence records. A lot of times you're going to find that information that was once classified or is still classified is logged on this FD 1087 form. I really need to find out more about it. But all I have found is that kind of highly protected information is on this form. On that form that I showed you, where it states in all capital letters, protected identity in reference to Nichol Kessinger, that's the only time this form is used throughout that discovery. So what exactly that means, I obviously don't know, but it means something.
Oh, wow.
So I just wanted to show you guys that because
Yeah.
I mentioned it a few times and I didn't really understand. I didn't feel like I was making myself clear. I don't know. So yeah, because I'm searching the discovery now, and yeah, it's the only time the form is used in the discovery. So there's something to it. I am not really able to determine what that is. If anybody feels like doing a research project, please join me. I'm trying to figure out exactly what's up with that because it's something significant.
Kelly, have you done a live about Shanann's office being trashed?
No, because I don't think it was.
Okay.
Do you think it was?
You know, I don't know what her office normally looked like. I mean, a lot of people's offices are trashed.
Right.
But you know, it certainly doesn't look like the rest of the house. It looks ransacked, really. It looks like somebody was looking for something in a panic.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like. I don't gather. I mean, I would be happy to look more into it, but when I've looked into it before, I just didn't gather that. Like I looked at some of the live streams where Shanann was in her office. Now, keeping in mind that Shanann was very much about appearances. And so if she knew she was going to be recording herself in a certain area, I'm sure she tidied it up first. So the only thing we really have to compare it to is the way things appeared on Shanann's Facebook Live videos prior to that, which we know she was paying attention to. So even if it wasn't a certain way, it would give the appearance of being a certain way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But what do you think about that, Rose?
It does. And, you know, I know she had told Chris to lock her office door when she knew the sitter was coming to their house to watch the girls. So
right, yeah.
Could it have been that she knew it was messy and didn't want them in there? Possibly.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah. Or maybe like that's just the one place where she just, you know, went and dropped things. Like in the closet, it looked like there were like some bags of like little toys and stuff she hadn't really given to the kids yet, or, you know, or I don't know.
That's how I looked at it, but you never know. You never know.
Just so heartbreaking about that, you know, bags of toys that she hadn't given to the kids yet.
Yeah, I know.
Very sad.
Yeah. So this just reminded me of something. Elizabeth said, is there any truth to an earlier rumor that NK's dad knew the DA personally? Now, I personally do not know of any like real evidence to substantiate those claims. One thing I do know is this: there has been this narrative or this rumor going around that Nichol Kessinger's father was a United States ambassador, and therefore he was protected and he was given immunity. Now, people were basing this rumor off of a picture that certain channels were using it. I used it like twice and I realized it wasn't really Dwayne Kessinger like a long time ago. And I took it out of everything. When you Google Dwayne Kessinger, in fact, one channel, I was Seeking the Truth with Dave, just made an apology recently to the man who it really was, or to his family, because it was actually a deceased veteran. And now it's nobody's fault this happened, because like we didn't have this video. No one knew what Dwayne Kessinger looked like. Like I get it. It was an honest mistake. But people kept using this picture over and over again. In fact, I can show it to you.
Okay.
Now, in this picture of this person who is not Nichol Kessinger's father, Dwayne Kessinger, apparently he was wearing an Israeli liberation. Oh, I can't think of the exact name. Some kind of like a political shirt. Nancy, and she's still not here. She knew what it was called. Like the Israeli army. I'm butchering this. I don't even know if you can find this anymore. Hold it. I know I have it. Okay, I'm going to keep looking for it for a second.
Okay.
So based on that, some creators or people or whatever, creators who were also people, of course, like there has to be a distinction, hypothesized, I guess, that he was an ambassador. But then some channels started to really go with it and kind of say, oh, yes, he's a United States ambassador, therefore he's given immunity. In fact, a person that's working with that channel that uploaded my video that they took on my channel. And, just by the way, guys, came out with a video like yesterday that said, in it said in an apology to Watts the Obsession. I sent it to you too on panel.
Yes.
A couple other people.
Before
I watched it, I sent it to these guys being like, and I was thinking like, oh, well, that's kind of nice. He's apologizing to me for stealing my video. And then I was very, very polite about it. Gave him like 3.5 weeks, tried to contact him, didn't hear anything. He didn't take it down. After consulting with a bunch of people, I finally struck it because that was a consensus. And I thought my friends had a point, and like, you can't let people do that or they're going to start to walk all over you. Like, I didn't want to do it. And I gave him every possible out.
Mm-hmm.
So he got really freaked out anyways, made a few videos like saying stupid, crazy, dumb, terrible things about me that aren't true.
No.
And then in that video where he said, an apology to Watts the Obsession, he stated that we talked and I apologized to him and he accepted it, which I just need you to know it's not true. I didn't apologize to him. We haven't talked. I don't have anything to apologize for. So that's gaslighting for you.
Right. Yeah.
It's crazy. He was saying like, when you're a big person, you can get over yourself. You can apologize. And it's almost like he's about to apologize, but then he says that
I'm so sorry. Wait, hold on. I'm so sorry. Oh my God. That's okay. Sorry. Okay. I'm sorry, darling. I found that picture of Dwayne Kessinger and it was like, okay, sorry, go ahead.
I was having trouble putting my thought together anyway. It's so late.
Why is this doing this? Wait, hold it. Oh, I see. Okay, hold it. All right, wait, hold it. Okay, so I'm sorry, guys.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
It was pretty wild watching that clip where it's like he is so close to, it looks like he's about to apologize to you. And then he switches it over and says that you apologize to him.
Yes. And I was like, wait a minute. So all those people, well, it was 4 people, including these guys, that I had sent that video link to. I texted them back really quick and I was like, wait, hold it. No, I didn't apologize to him. I have anything to apologize for. I'm happy to apologize if I have a reason to apologize. And sometimes I do, but not in this case.
No.
Very strange.
It was very strange. So
yeah,
whatever. I think there's some like mental illness issues there or something. But okay, so here's this picture of the guy who is not Dwayne Kessinger.
Right.
So he's wearing a, I don't know, Israeli something or other shirt. So that's where this all started. So, where I got off track there was somebody who is apparently has been involved in almost every watch channel. He's been a moderator for all of them at some point. He's kind of latched on to this one creator that I was just talking about now. And he's trying to pump out there again that Dwayne Kessinger was an ambassador. Therefore, he got immunity based off of this guy's picture, who's not even Dwayne Kessinger. But I need to tell you this. Cecile, who's a moderator for this
That's
channel.
how rumors start.
Yes. And the thing is, we put forth evidence very politely to say, hey guys, just want to let you know that's not true. Cecile went and found a list of all ambassadors to the United States across the globe for the past X amount of years. In fact, I still have it on file here, and I will show it to you guys next. I'll try to remember for next live stream. So the list is exhaustive. If you read, the preface to it, it tells you so. Dwayne Kessinger is not on that list. That's proof enough for me that he was not an ambassador. Even after we pull, yes, yeah, I know, Keschik. That's what I'm saying. It's not Dwayne Kessinger. That's the point. So I'm going to take that down now because I want people to think that I think it is. So even after we put forth the evidence that we have an exhaustive list of all the ambassadors for X amount of time period, and Dwayne Kessinger is not one, they're still insisting that that's the case. So I just want to set the record straight. Oh, girl, I got you, Keschik. Don't worry. I'm not that dumb. Yeah. Yeah. So look at Jody is cool's message. So yeah. 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 HCN. This is what I always say about NK. HCN says NK strikes me as a borderline personality disorder. Talk her off a ledge, just driving over to your married guy's family home, acting surprised and pissed about being second fiddle, fear of abandonment. Ding, 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 ding. That's exactly what I see. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, other people think that as well. Yeah, we've got backup. So, and I always say that, in my career, I do some evaluations and analysis working towards different disabilities, mental disorders, anything that's going to, require a person to have perhaps some extra support in life. I guess that's how we can describe it.
Yeah.
Because I have a, range of different things I've done where I do different things, but you cannot truly tell that about a person, certainly, until you meet with them yourself to evaluate them through certain methods that are evidence-based and, tried and true. But anecdotally, just based on the observations that I can make and many other people make from the footage and the information we have, it certainly does seem like that to me. So, yeah. And that's true. So, yeah. So this is a really great point. Clara Esposito says bipolar is often misdiagnosed when it's bipolar disorder. So she definitely exhibits traits of either or. So that's exactly where the, clinical evaluation would absolutely be required, of course, to say so. And April 418, thank you so much for becoming a member. Thank you so much. I really need to have a members only live stream and little meet soon. Oh, hey, Cecile. I didn't even know that you were here. I was just talking about you as though you weren't here in the list of ambassadors that you researched and found and provided. Yet still, some people are trying to insist that Dwayne Kessinger, first of all, was that guy in that, well, I think everyone knows it's not him anymore, but that he was an ambassador. So thank you for doing that, Cecile. Cecile's awesome. It was like one of my first
the DSM, the Diagnostic Statistical Manual, needs to put in a new personality disorder for Nichol Kessinger. Malignant personality disorder.
Yeah, seriously. Just like malignant and bad and poisonous wherever you go.
Yeah, so malignant.
Yeah.
And that word I used last time that you really liked, rancid.
Just
rancid.
Rancid.
That's a good one.
Nasty. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much, moderators. You're amazing. And thank you, Zena and Curious Rose. Thank you so much for coming up on panel. And I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah. And I've said to a Curious Rose before, Zena, sometimes I feel like, because, I know what I have to do to like click around and try to make the sound right and stuff like in a live stream. So I'm sorry. I don't mean to like be like bossy or anything like that. But
You
I'm
are
just
the
trying
boss,
to,
applesauce. Don't worry.
I'm just trying to like make it all happen and be as
Yeah.
high
Well,
quality as
you know
possible.
what you're doing. You know what you're doing. So
That's right.
Sometimes I
appreciate your
do.
direction, and it's okay if you're not so focused. You still know what you're doing.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah. So,
Have a great night. Thank you, Zena, too. You
yes,
were lovely. I enjoyed this. This was
yeah.
great.
Thanks, you guys. Take
Yeah,
care.
thanks so much.
Talk
Everyone
to
have
you
a great
soon.
night. Be safe. Be awesome. And we'll have another live stream, I think probably if not before, definitely Friday evening. So
Great. Sounds great.
yeah,
And
awesome.
with truth will prevail.
Truth will prevail.
Yes.
That's Mama.
Good night,
All right,
girls. Good night, everyone.
thank you.
All right.
Oh,
Thanks
thank you so
again.
much, Rosie. Thank you so much for the super.
No, thanks,
Okay,
Rosie.
thank you, darling. I appreciate it. Thanks for supporting the channel. Yeah, that's right, Lobo. All right. Take care, guys. Have a really great night.
Yes, you too.
Nilda says, throw holy water at the screen wherever her name appears. Yeah, man. Check out that face on a TV. It's scary.
And Kelly, I just got to say it again. It's because you're so good at what you do that these people are being rude to you.
Oh, well, thanks. It's like
They're jealous. They're trying to tear you down.
yeah, well, I mean, if that's the case, I just never understand that way of approaching things. And I don't know. There's always enough for everybody to be successful if everybody, does what they do, with all of their heart or at least most of it and tries to do what they do with quality. There's no reason for people to be all freaking weird and yeah.
When you guys are when all the creators are supportive of each other, it is great, and you can all be under each other's wings.
Yeah, totally. And there's, whenever, I try to, like, if, somebody who's a creator comes into chat, we always try to, put the link to their channel in chat. Like, I definitely want everyone else to be as successful as possible. And also, I am well aware that, I cannot provide everything everybody is seeking on this channel. That would be totally freaking insane and self-absorbed for anyone to think that. So, if you really want to give the people who are viewing your channel the best you can, you're going to, tell them, oh, go watch this person for this piece of information. Go watch this person go watch this video, like I do with Thunder, Armchair Detective, or other people that I think do good work. So,
right. 10 to Life. Are you familiar with 10 to Life?
I can't believe how this has happened, but it was not until very recent, like in the last 2 months, did I find that channel. I watched a couple of her videos and I liked them a lot. I unfortunately don't have much time to watch YouTube all these days, so I've kind of been sticking to the ones that I like really love. But yeah, she definitely did good videos.
Yeah, she's great. So Kimberly, Swear Kimberly, do you?
Oh, I love her. Yeah.
Email or any way to get a hold of her and invite her into a chat?
I think I did have her email. I will definitely look. And you know what? If I do not, I think I know somebody who does. So let's do that because we could always use some Swear Kimberly because she's just so funny and smart. She's so funny and so smart.
She's dropped a new one after a month of nothing.
Oh, good. Oh, awesome. I'm going to definitely. Is that the one you sent me the link to?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. I'm going to watch it tomorrow. Definitely for sure.
Yeah. I started it, but I haven't finished it. So I'll try to finish it too.
Yeah. Awesome, guys.
All right. So,
I am losing my voice, so I'm going to officially go for sure, everybody. But thank you so much, Zena. Thank you, everyone in chat. And we will see you Friday, if not sooner.
All right. Sleep tight.
Yes, you too. And go check out Swear Kimberly. We love her. She used to just be Kimberly, right?
Right.
Yeah. And then I don't know what happened, but all right, guys. Take care. Love ya.
I think there were too many.
Yeah, probably. All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.